Let's go, my friend.
I'm Bean,
I'm Dip,
and this is the
the
Bean
BeanDip
Dip Podcast.
podcast.
As you can see tonight, the arrangements are changed. The scenery has changed. Like I said, we're always trying to make a better environment for ourselves, make it look better. And as you can see, I'm actually liking this setup better. Like I feel like this is the best one we had out of any of the ones we had so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I like this one way better. It's much more comfortable. You guys get a better view. I think it's definitely better. Upgrades, people, upgrades. As we go, we elevate. That's
Yeah.
all we try to do.
And no more bed sheets. That's the main thing. No more bed
Man,
sheets. We're
we
done.
tried.
We
We
actually
tried to
got
ghetto
actual
rig.
matching furniture now.
We tried to ghetto rig some seats.
Yeah, I mean we tried and like I know y'all not gonna judge us, but we judging ourselves.
Right,
And
right.
actually we got actual matching furniture.
Facts.
Even though he spilled stuff on us, so it is dirty, but
He
we
ain't
good.
gonna let that go.
I'm not.
It's
This
not
this this
dirty.
this
It's
man
not
really
dirty.
this
It was
man
just a
really
spill.
stepped on this couch with his shoes on it. Like low key got to me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. But we're not
Hey
gonna talk
man,
about
Rick
that.
James, fuck your couch.
I'll fuck you up.
Wait till the cameras go off.
Okay, bet. So let's.
Alright, bet.
Anyways, we're gonna hop into tonight. Today is Friday the 13th.
Ooh, for
You
all
know,
you spooky people that are, what's
so
the word? Superstitious. For all
yeah,
you superstitious people.
yeah. Like I said, Jason's coming out tonight.
Jason's coming out tonight. We can
Hmm.
tell what favorite scary movie character you're gonna be talking about later on.
Well, yeah, always. But yeah, we got a little topic going into what you got.
Friday the 13th. Are you superstitious or not? So, in all my years of Friday the 13th, I was always brought up that Friday the 13th was such like an unlucky day. Be careful on Friday the 13th. Don't do this, don't do that. So, I actually got curious and I was like, what's the history behind Friday the 13th? And that
You
shit
got me
was
curious. What is it?
this shit was biblical, bro. Like it goes down to Jesus and his disciples. How many disciples did he have at the dinner, bro?
Bro, you asking the wrong person the wrong question.
Oh, you're going to hell.
I've been said that. Everybody knows
He had
that.
12 disciples plus him make 13.
Okay.
And then, they it was something about the next day on the 13th, it was the 13th day that they crucified him and stuff like that. So people have, like online, they say it's actually supposed to be the opposite of an unlucky day. It's actually supposed to be a very lucky day. Throughout the years, all the folk tales and all the Halloween creations and all that stuff, they've made it to where it is an unlucky, scary day of the year. I guess it depends on what you believe in. This is just what I'm getting offline and what I got from some of the people interacting from the social media page when I asked about it. I personally am not a really superstitious human. I have not seen a black cat in a long time. I'm not around ladders to walk under them. Uh, my salt comes out of a grinder. Ain't really spilled salt in a long time. So like those little
Yeah, but if you like
superstitious
bad luck
things.
comes, you just pour salt on each side of your arms and call it a day.
You believe in bad luck?
Man, I got bad luck.
You got bad luck.
I got bad luck.
Nah, man. I
Be
don't.
realistic.
I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't believe in luck, bro. I believe in what's meant to.
Like I said, like I don't know. My biggest thing is like everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
But then,
While
but
but while some things we may not know the reason, and sometimes it's just plain bad shit. Like there's no other way to explain it. I don't think it's good luck or bad luck.
I mean, but like it's just like saying, but like if you think about it, like you know what he says, like everything happens for a reason. But a lot of people go through so much bad shit, and you're like, why is this supposed to happen? But then like what I learned is like, you know, what you like overcome is gonna make you like even stronger and come into a better person. Is what I believe in stuff like that. When people's going through like a lot of shit. Like for me, example, like I said, I'm still going through shit, but like I feel like at the end of the day, it's all gonna be worth it. Even though I'm not where I want to be at right now, not like mentally or physically wise or anything else, but I feel like at the end of the day, all of it's gonna pay off. Even if I'm stuck in a certain spot right now, I feel like hopefully in the future it's gonna pay off. Even though like I said, I did hold myself back for this past year and a half.
I I mean I look at it from a point when you say like you're stuck. I believe everything is all about elevation and advancement. So I don't think you're stuck. I just think you in that level on the game you haven't quite gotten to beat yet.
Like conquered wise.
Right, right.
You're at the boss level and you just keep.
Like I also don't fully give in to the 100% thought of failure. My uncle told me one time, you didn't fail. You don't fail until you quit. And when you think you fail, you didn't fail. You learn how not to do that.
I mean, yeah, because like it's like saying like you know how many people like keep saying I'm scared to do this. Like people want to start their own business, but people are scared to like fail, so they never do it.
Hey
But
man, no risk, no reward.
exactly, because like saying it's like saying what is it, dude? It's like you don't take the risk because you never know what the result could be. Like you could boom off, but like the thing is that like when somebody gets into like a stepping stone of it, some people just give up when the hardest when like the easiest little thing gets like overwhelming, they just quit and go. But it's like what if you push through it and go?
That was like me with my business though. Last year I decided to start an OnlyFans, and I was a bilingual naked rapper. And
Who the,
I
who
made
the
$68.
who the hell wants to fucking see a damn string cheese like color string
He's so
cheese?
fucking disrespectful.
I know, but that's just me.
Right.
So I say if I start an OnlyFans, I'm gonna look like a damn Gerber baby trying to go in there. So like I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Gerber babies are cute. You might look like a Gerber gorilla baby.
yeah maybe. I mean if I shave my beard, I look like a damn Gerber baby. So I mean that might be something you might. Hey, maybe somebody got a fetish for Gerber babies. Maybe I can make a little bit of extra dough on that.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
can make
pause.
special. Hold on,
Pause.
pause.
That's weird, bro.
Hey, you never. Hey, people be you look. No
Are you
BS.
saying people have a fetish for like a grown Gerber baby looking
You
man?
never know. You gotta think. Look, people got fetish on people shitting on their chest. Yeah, anything's fucking
Why
possible.
does it sound like you're speaking from a place of experience?
I'm not speaking from no experience. I
You
just
let somebody shit on your chest?
no,
Tell the truth. You look
no.
like you might have let it shit on your chest.
Hey, look. I don't think I would, and I don't think it'll ever happen. So no. But I just
I
seen.
try to understand. I've gotten curious and looked shit up online with fetishes like what you just mentioned, and I be trying to understand what drives a person to want some of these fetishes.
Dude, be honest, bro. I have no fucking idea. But okay, cool. You got it. Seriously, like I never any like any boo boo getting around me, bro. I'm
Yeah,
smacking them.
there's nobody in this world that can convince me to let them. There's no woman that can convince me to let them shit on my chest.
Like why though? Like what you gonna do? Just like fucking like what do you do afterwards? Just lay there?
That's just like Two Girls One Cup, one of the
Oh
most
no.
traumatizing videos of my childhood. Do you know what we used to do? We used to gather everybody up in the neighborhood, right? And we had a friend's house we could all go to, and everybody would spend the night, right? And we would be in the room, and like they would play fucking Two Girls One Cup, and Last Man Standing. The whoever didn't throw up was the ones that won. I always lost. I threw up within the first like 30 seconds of the video.
Sounds like something you do. Sound like something you do. Sound
As
like
soon as she
somebody can't handle
started,
their liquor.
I gag right now. Can't even think about it.
Nah, I'm good. Keep that shit to yourself.
That belongs in the superstitious, spooky Friday the 13th section. They just leave that over there.
Yo, I don't even think I want to know about it, man.
Have you ever thought about getting a Friday the 13th tattoo? That seems to be all the craze.
It's the craziest. I honestly, yes. No BS. Yes, I would.
If I could find one that I feel, if I could find somebody to do me a nice small but
But
really detailed ghost face mask, I would do it.
okay, like me, I would get like a Freddy versus Jason type of tattoo.
Like a half Jason, half Freddy face. That'd be that.
Not even that, or like just like the Freddy versus Jason, like how they have like is their cover on the DVD that they had back in the day, something like that. But apparently that it's been going around like everywhere. Everybody's been trying to find it today. But the thing about it is though, like it's crazy. Because you're gonna look at me when I say this, but it's crazy how like people put like that stuff like above their priorities.
I just had this conversation.
I know, so I
Just
brought
had
it
this
up.
conversation. Seen
But
somebody on Facebook asking for financial help 3 days ago, but now today they at the tattoo shop in town talking about some getting my Friday the 13th tattoo, and I
be
think
honest,
I think that's a big problem in this generation, bro. Is people try to people live above their means way too often, and they don't prioritize. They like, oh, I can pay this late, or I can be a little short on this, instead of just paying it and just saving up and being smarter with your finances. I had that problem back in the day.
Why you think I'm not tatted? I mean, it's different.
I never let no bills go for this. I also have been best friends with both tattoo men.
I
Not to
mean,
mention being on my extended vacation with the Georgia State Department of Corrections. I had free time to get a
I
couple
mean,
of.
but it's like saying this is like saying like, look, it's like tattoo or my rent. I'm paying my rent. I'm sorry. Like, I'm taking that. Like, or it's just like anything in general. It's just like, oh, you want that new car? I ain't getting it. Like, you want that new pair of shoes? No. Like, the only way, that's the reason why, like, me, like, live above my means, like, since, like, I do own my own reselling business, the only time, like, I will buy something like that is if I find it in a thrift store or something. Because it's a tax write-off for me. And plus, like, think about it, if I don't like it, I can just resell it.
You know what? I know people that downplay like Goodwill, Salvation Army, those thrift and consignment stores. Man, let me tell you something, man. I built a whole in-home studio. Just about 60% of my studio came from Goodwills and thrift stores, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta think how, like, I built, like, this whole entire room, as if you could see it, yes, everything came from Goodwill except for these couches. Everything, literally everything came from yard sales, thrift stores, Facebook Marketplace. That's about it. Like I said,
The
like,
table was provided by my garage.
yeah, about the only thing.
Anyways,
But it's like, because, me, I started my reselling business during, like, the start of COVID when I got in my four-wheeler wreck. And I was stuck at home. I had nothing to do. And I just grind out. Because, like, me, it's crazy how, like, something from your childhood you think could be profitable later on in life. And it came profitable. Like, me, like, my first year, not only doing it for, like, 3 or 4 months, I made, okay, maybe, like, 4 or 5 months, like, roughly. Dropped, like, gross, like, 14K. 14K, like my first, like, not like half year, partial year to it. But then, stuff happened, so I've been on the downfall. But now I'm trying to rebuild my eBay store, my reselling business in general. But now I'm branching out more though. Like, I used to be stuck to like thrift stores, yard sales, wherever. Even though things are fucking amazing, that's where I made thousands and thousands of dollars. And you can literally, it's been proven. Like, as many people who make their videos on it, it's been proven that you can do it. Like everybody says it's saturated. Every aspect is saturated. You just gotta be bigger and better and know what to do. You gotta do shit better than everybody else. Do stuff different. Don't do this. Don't literally copy everything everybody's doing. Like me, like I
but
opened
but
up.
did you have like any along the way? You say don't copy people, but you gotta learn from others too.
Yeah, I did.
Like, did you ever have anybody that was already in the game that you met along the way that was able to give you some tips
No,
or
that way,
show
no,
you? No.
no. That way, I learned all that for myself. I did my own research, and it's like saying like, that's like you gotta do your own research because it's like saying something in Goodwill, like literally it could be like literally this right here, right? You see, is it like a plain ordinary thing? You just walk right by it like it's nothing. Me, it's like I try to learn as I go, so it's like, I just like me, if I haven't seen something before, or if I'm just curious about something, I'll look it up. It's like saying, oh, you see this, you're like, oh, this thing ain't worth nothing. I like typing into my eBay, literally go to like the 90 days sold comps on it. It's worth like fucking $300 just chilling right here, and it's like, and you see a fucking price tag for $399, you can sell it for 300. Think about that. And like, it's like it's crazy how what you can do. Like,
I could imagine you with this type of knowledge in your brain, and you're walking around, and like you said, we might, me, you and I don't have that knowledge. Now,
no,
I'm a thrift
you've
store.
been there with me
I
before.
no, I know, but what I'm saying is like I'm a thrift store junkie. But when I go into thrift stores,
It's for stuff for you
I'm
personally.
self exactly. So I might see something and be like, oh, I know how much this costs, but I'm gonna get it for me because I'm not gonna be able to find it anywhere else. Yeah, it's a little used. I still use it, but I might walk past something like you just said. I might see that same thing. Be like, look, this is sitting right there. And you might be like, nah, bro, that's a gold mine. Snatch it over here. You know what I'm saying? I could imagine though you do that in a lot of settings where there's like items like that.
No, but I actually know because I actually met up with people. Like I said, I've got a little bit of help, but like at the beginning, no, I had zero help. But like as I went, because you got to think of yard sales, I've been meeting a lot of resellers. Not like some are friendly, some are not. Because you know how competitive is. Like me, like if you get that first and you get it, bro, you got it. But some people be like way too dramatic about it. Like we're grown folk. But like the thing is, like if you're there and put in the time and effort to get there in time and beat me there, yeah, you can have it.
So in the resale business, like other resellers, like you guys are competitive. Like there's some haters in that
Oh
game.
no, there's haters, but like there's some guys like literally there's like the dude I told you I met a few times. I see him at the Salvation Army or the Goodwills in Sharpsburg or up here. He sort of sometimes grosses $250,000 every 90 days.
Damn.
Every night, and like think about it, I was in the same thrift store as him, literally, because like I said, same, but he's got more knowledge than me, and he's got more money than me too to do. I'm not saying money's the thing, because you got to think I started this shit with $100, and I worked my way up, and but like the finance stuff sort of took a tweak, so now I'm rebuilding it to the point now. But it's like saying like he literally like we were in the store for example one day, and like me, I don't really look at certain stuff. He literally showed me his like wooden clock, like small little wooden clock. I would think no, same thing like you. I walk by the remote. That's like saying I like learning from people too as I go, cause
I think that's an important key to success, not just in business or even
taking
your
advice,
lane of
learning,
reselling. Yeah, you can definitely. I learned that in all these different endeavors that
cause
I've been in.
like there's nothing wrong for asking for help, but it's the people that's cocky about like him. He didn't seem cocky now. He just told me he's like look, he's telling me what he sold. I'm like yeah, that's what's up. But then while he's showing me, he's not like he just might be showing me numbers to impress me or whatever. But I'm looking at what he sold. I'm like okay, I'll be on the lookout for this stuff because I see these high number value things. Like he found some like Cadillac fucking headsets, and I was like, okay. And then he showed me the freaking resale value. Dude, it was fucking $80 a piece, and things were going for $6 a pop. He found three of them in there.
And so
That
he was able to multiply
that's
his.
$240 right there for like $18.
Wow, that's past 10 times your what you're
Exactly.
spending. So you get back your
But no,
investment.
but that's not all though. It's not like simple as 240. You gotta think about it, or yeah, 240. You gotta think once he
Yeah, you
sells all
still
that,
gotta sell it. You still gotta ship it.
it's not only with that because with eBay and stuff, it's like that. They take a 12.9% fee out of once you sell it or whatever. So you see, you gotta subtract the 12.9% fee plus like a final fee thing, which is like an extra 30 cents, and then you gotta pay the shipping on that. So it's not like oh it's up and dandy. You just gotta think of everything. Like me, it's like saying you seen some stuff that I was thinking about like reselling or buying or whatever, but I'm thinking about the shipping cost, the service fee that they have on the eBay platform. It's not
Is
worth it.
it? I'm about to say, is it worth?
Is it worth all that money?
Are you
No.
getting? Yeah, I could
But
understand
if
that.
it's worth it, yeah, why not? But see, but it's like I love learning, but I didn't realize how many resellers are in our local area until I started like that yard sale season I first went to. Dude, there things were everywhere.
Bro, I remember in 2012 when I was living over by the Hemrick's gas station. You know they
Hmm.
got that little flea market right there. There's people that's been in there since 2012 that like live and breathe that.
I know, but it's the same stuff every single time. I can't go there. Like I try to go there a few times. I found a few stuff, but
Shoot,
nothing.
I got a PS3 for $30 from there.
I buy that all the time on Facebook Marketplace.
I could imagine. Yeah.
You gotta think I
But
got a
we talking
whole.
about back in that day.
Oh, I'm talking about nowadays. I mean, but nowadays it's supposed to be worth more. Is it worth more?
Is it really?
Yeah. Like that's what
That's
like.
one of that's actually one of the PlayStations I'm missing from my
But
collection.
nowadays, but after all that, I've been wanting to branch out more though. Like I said, I just went into pallets. Got into pallets, got a pallet pressure washer and stuff. Started off with that. Now just to dip my
Like
water.
one set price for bulk order, but you know you can make your money back with
Yeah,
what's on the pallet.
yeah, like dip my money. But you got to think of the thing with pallets though. It's a tricky thing though. It's like it's not 100% stuff might work type thing, but you already know how I work. We ain't gonna talk about that, but you know what I do. But it's like stuff like that. It's like we can also do other stuff to make money too. It's like plus like now I wanna low key wanna dive into storage units. I really wanna get into storage units.
Oh man, like the Storage Wars show? Bro, I thought that was so cool. But see, I couldn't, the way my mind works, I know I was the one earlier that said it, no risk, no rewards. But you could imagine you bid really, really high on something and you don't even get half the money you bid on it because
Yeah,
the
but
things that
see
are in there is trash.
that's why what it is though is like when you're bidding on storage units, you gotta just value what you can see with your eyes.
Right.
You gotta see what you can make with your eyes. That's it most of the time. Or like I said, just take a risk because if it's like if you see one thing that's common, but you see a few like one thing common, it might not be something in there. But if you see like a few things that like go together, you can put in your head there might be more in there. You just gotta because sometimes you gotta take a risk. Like you're never gonna win every damn thing.
Right,
It's like
right.
saying the same thing with like reselling in general. You're not gonna win everything. Like I said, you're not gonna get everything you want. They're like saying, people post yard sales all the time on Facebook or whatever, and you get there and like stuff's already gone. You're like, oh dang, it's I got here too late. I'm like, it's like snooze you lose type of game. Like I said, it's I can't be mad or I can't
First
be,
come, first
yeah, I
serve.
can't be mad or anything. It's just
That's
like,
why you were talking about that one place, where out by Columbus?
yeah, in Columbus, the Ben story, like you gotta camp out there like me. Like I learned my lesson the first time I went out there, I got there like 30 minutes early, dude. I was like at least number 60 to 65 in line minimum.
So you say in line. So what? Only a certain amount of people are allowed in at a
No,
time?
no, I'm just talking about like the line, the wait to get inside.
Does the line move fast once it opens?
It takes a minute.
Takes a minute. But
It's
by the
like
if you're number 65, by the
you,
time you get
all
in
the good
there,
stuff's pretty much gone.
them first
Unless
64
unless
done.
you just happen to dig around, cause like not gonna lie, you got to think I was like number like 4 or 5 one night, cause like I said, there's a Thursday night I went camping out there one night. Me and my buddies they did, and we got out there around like 8 9 o'clock. We were still number 6 in line. Number 6 in line. You got to think we slept out there. I got my little folding chair, bro. We brought a little air mattress. We camped out there for the night. We brought some food.
Man, this
We
is
were
serious.
Yeah, it's dude, serious money out here. Like if you want that grind, bro, you gotta be on it. Like
Right.
literally, like I'm like now, like I want it.
That reminds me when I was a kid, the Black Friday shopping. I remember
Oh yeah,
back in the day. And now I feel
everything's
like
online.
everything's online. They took that away. It was kind of fun, kind of not. Like I've seen
All them
some
fights,
people fight.
all them fights.
Yeah.
That'd be the crazy.
Yeah, I remember this one old grandma slammed down this dude, man, over I forgot what it was, bro. It was like one of those little oven toasters before the air fryers came out. It was an oven toaster. I was like, dang, grandma getting her Betty Crocker. She cracked that nigga head.
But the thing about that is though is like there was a guy. He was like number 12th or 13th in line, and he found an Oculus. He found a whole Oculus. He got it before because the thing about it is like there's stuff like it just depends on the store because mostly it's Amazon stuff. But you got you can buy everything on Amazon. So
Bro, I tried that Oculus shit. That's something I want to get
I know.
one
Oh,
day.
trust me, I do too. I
It
want
was
to.
pretty interesting. I still stick to my first man shooter. Like I like my
But
screen, but
about that is like it's crazy because plus like certain stores they do like they got their Facebook page and stuff where you can go look at their lives and stuff to like look through because they'll show videos like good stuff they got. But the thing is though, before they open though, they rearrange it. So like us when we're out there, we had the freaking flashlight, dude. There was one night too, I literally bought a pair of night vision goggles just to look at the stuff inside to see. Because like you gotta think, you gotta pick what area you're going to, especially if you're by yourself.
yeah, y'all be militant about this, don't
Yes,
you?
you got to. It's that deep. Because think about it, you can make fucking thousands of dollars in a day there if you know what you're doing.
Right.
You just gotta know. You just can't walk in there being like dumb or whatever. Like
So
me
what's like your highest flip from there?
there. Actually, it wasn't from that. It wasn't from that Ben store to be honest. It was from the one in Fayetteville.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, literally, because they had a Ben store over there too. I camped out there one night. I like I said, my ex got mad at me because we were there at like 11 o'clock at night and nobody was there. Nobody started showing until 4 o'clock. Because I was so used to Columbus one, so I was like, yo,
Right, right.
I was like, camp out
You
early.
came prepared. So
Plus,
y'all was the first in then,
yeah, we was.
cause
Yeah, we
y'all
the
were
fir-
there
yeah,
hours ahead.
we were the first in there, but like still, it's like when you get in there, it's just so hesitant. It's like freaking. It's like you know how you were like nervous taking the big test in school.
No.
Okay, well, I guess different, but or just something like you're just very nervous about.
Right.
It's like that. It's like the adrenaline's popping up, and then like when you get in there, you just don't know what you're doing.
I was in honors classes, so I
You
wasn't
lying
nervous
like
about
that, but
shit.
okay.
I was.
Really? You smart?
Nah. I came back from Puerto Rico. My grades were
Oh yeah, yeah,
phenomenal,
yeah, yeah. I remember that. I remember
and
somebody.
when they put me in high school, I get my little sheet with all my classes, and it's like honors this, honors this, honors that. I looked at my mama. My mama looked at me, cause your mama know you. Your mom's like, you just you ain't that smart. Funny part is, I kept up with them. I was just too much of a class clown, and it felt like in honors classes it was a lot of stuck up kids. So like I felt completely out of place. I was like, yo, put me back in the regular classes. And due to a small little incident, I got moved back to the regular classes. And one of the teachers from honors was mad at me. She was like, "You have the potential to do this," and I was like, "Yeah, but I don't. There's no fun going on in here. Like, Y'all make us feel like machines in them class. Like I want to have some fun. Like damn, I'm gonna fall asleep and drool on my seat, throw a piece of paper at somebody, flirt with the girl next to me. You can't do that in honors classes. That shit is frowned upon.
But yeah, like, but my biggest flip was from there, and it was a crazy thing too, cause it was just like something like random. Cause like I said, mostly everything's in like the little brown boxes that you gotta like take to somebody to open. You can't open them there. You used to, but like people like it says people can't like sort of like taking shit or whatever. So it's like, hey, if you're gonna get it, bring it right here, whatever.
Goddamn thief
And
ass.
I picked it up, and it was like it was literally just a little mini pocket scanner. I looked at it and I was like, everything there's $7. Everything has a set price. All the bin store has a set price. It depends on the store, whatever the price is. But they were $7. So I was like, okay, cool. I looked at it. I was like, oh, I could probably use this for my business, regardless. I ain't look stuff up really. I usually do, but that one I didn't. So I put it in the cart. I got home and looked at it, dude. It was like $290 for this little red little like Bluetooth like
That you
mini.
paid $7 for.
Yeah,
Wow.
and flipped it that same day. It
Okay.
sold that same day for $7. Cause I was hyped. I was like, yo. I was like, we just made our money back. We were only there for like maybe 2 hours. I was like, we already made $200. Like that's like after fees and everything, that's like $200 right there. Like that's just like maybe like a little bit over 200, and that's off that one thing.
We definitely gonna have to make that trip out there then.
Yeah, next Friday. Remember that. We already made it. We're gonna have that little. Oh, dude, we can make a little video out there too.
Yeah, yeah. Put it on the podcast so
No, I can actually make that.
people can get a deeper eye view into what you're speaking on.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, why not? But like also, I was gonna bring my GoPro and actually film it like I used to. Dude, I got a question for you. I want you to look at my videos on my GoPro and see if maybe you can make something with the stuff I have on my GoPro.
Let's do it. I'll
Because
definitely look
like
into
I
it.
said, you like the editing part, so I feel like you'd play better on it than me.
You know what's crazy though? In music, like I got my best friend, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony's the producer now. He does all the producing for my music, but I got tired of producing music, but bro, I love doing videos. I love editing the
I
videos,
do too. I
bro.
like making videos. I like to make the content. That's the reason why we're here. That's the reason why we're on the whole BeanDip podcast.
Facts.
Plus, we just like interacting with all y'all. Even though we keep going in and out, this is our podcast. We're gonna pretty much go in and out all the point. We're not gonna be like everybody else. Like we're gonna be all over the place. That's how we are. We're just like that in general. Like I said, we're here to bring stories. We're here to bring people perspectives for y'all to get to know us personally in our personal lives too. Like I said, we're not this like high influence people. We're just normal people, just out here chilling, trying to make a difference. People, like I said, people find this stuff interesting, and it's weird how people like us.
Hey, hold on. You speak for your fucking self. I'm not normal.
Yeah, we know you special.
My mama told me I'm special my whole life, bro. You better
My
respect
mom
my
told me
mama.
I could be anything I wanted to be. I could became a national. Damn, I can't say it. But you get it. I was gonna go with that one, but anyways, like yeah, like literally that was a big thing. But the thing about it is, like I said, it's the risk that you take. Is like items might not work. It's the same thing. Like there's no refunds. There's no nothing. And but like I said, it's like but there's one that I do want to go to that I've been wanting to go to for the longest, and I might just say screw it. But like I want, but the only reason I want to go to one in Columbus again is because we can go to the Goodwill Bins afterwards. And like I said, we can make
We'll
another trip
map it
out there.
out and make a whole day thing out of it, man.
Or like I said, like we could do a two for one thing. Like I said, like I could drive the one because there's like one I could go to. Like we got Columbus, and the next day we could literally hop to freaking Macon the next day. But the thing is though, with those two, you gotta camp out, big dog. Like we gotta camp out, bro. We could do the whole podcast just chilling out front,
That'd actually be kind of interesting.
like an all night thing.
Yeah. We'll try it out. We'll see what the fans think, what the people think.
Like what do you think? What do you think? Little podcast outside the bench store. We can go live. We can do a
We're,
little live type.
we're actually on his TikTok live under his name El Ilegal, illegal for those that don't
With
speak the
one L.
Española, with one L, but it's EL underscore ILEGAL. So
I don't know why you saying it like you're not gonna just put the words on the screen afterwards.
it'll be, y'all will see it pop up right under, but I still gotta say it out loud for them folks that probably ain't actually know how to spell that.
Like,
But
yeah, like I said, for my age, seeing hardly anybody in the resale game is sort of like I've been seeing more people my age now, but locally, no, I have not seen nobody in the flip game. Really, like small flip, yeah, but like here and there flip, but not like full time flip, no. But the thing about it is though, you can make a career out of this if you put in the effort and in the work. Like what I learned is like, cause I'm used to working a 9 to 5 job, but doing this is like saying I can make like $400 or $500 in a few hours. Just if I'm smart with my stuff. And the thing about it is though, like the high flips is crazy. But you gotta think about it. You know, it's weird how I make most of my money though. Is the small bread and butter things like the 20, 30, $30 items. And things add up
Yeah.
quickly. If you keep consistently, like I told you, I put that weekend on there last night and I already sold it this morning for $21. Like, oh, you think $21? But yes, like I think I got other orders that already went. That's like $200 just today.
So everything adds up.
Yeah, and
Everything
that's
adds up.
after fees and everything. That's $200 in my pocket.
Hmm.
And I'm like, you gotta think everything's tax write off. So my taxes are minty too. I don't need no IRS looking into me, but everything's minty.
Right. Right.
Everything's up to date. Promise you that. But it's like saying, but also in the real estate game, it's like you're never gonna know anything. I'm still learning, and I've been in the game for like 2-3 years.
I
I'm
believe. I believe there's
you'll
no
never
cap
stop
off to
learning.
learning
But there's one
in
thing
any
I will
lane.
not sell is clothing. I can't do it. I like that's why I'm finna start a whatnot thing for clothing. That's what I'm gonna do it. Like I'll tell you more about the platform later. I'm not gonna take a lot of time to do that. But it's pretty much just like a auction site that's live and everything. It's like how we're gonna live. It's like how you go
I've
live on
seen a lot of
TikTok.
people on TikTok doing auctions.
Yeah, but this is an actual thing where you just put in your merchandise and everything, so they can see your previews of everything you're going to sell that day and everything else. Like people's been making plenty of money on that too.
A lot of my sneaker brethren, they do that. They'll give previews and then be like, you guys can log on at this time. The sale or whatever event that they're hosting will start at that time. Like I watched a dude make about, I think it was like $23,000 in probably about an amount about 2 hours selling sneakers. People were in the comments, people were DMing him, and he's like, he's got like two or three computers actually around him, and he's like, yo, he turned his computer around and like his Cash App was literally going up as he turned the screen. And he was like, I'm not doing this to brag, like he's really in, but he's got a super sneaker plug. Yeah, I was in the sneaker game, but I never had the plug like these guys do. Plus, I'm selfish. Like, I actually want to wear my sneakers, so me being in the sneaker game doesn't work. I had a good run. I had about a good 8 month run. Made thousands of dollars with some sneakers I was able to cop and get them verified and get them sold. But I kept too many for myself.
Yeah, it'd be like no, it'd be like that. But like the thing about it is like me, like it's not the resale game's not for everybody. Like everybody's got their own little thing like niche. Like because you also get I got an outdoor business too, but I'm not going to talk about that tonight. But it's pretty much just doing all outdoor services, pressure washing, landscaping, all that too. That's a whole different genre, but that's more of a generic thing that everybody really knows about like that. Reselling, a lot of people sort of don't really know about the resale game really. That you really see. You see the generic do with your hands stuff like, or doing stuff with your hands, but like reselling is a lot of shit to do with your hand. It's a lot more than you think. It's a lot more work, but it pays off once you get like at the beginning when you don't have everything organized. It it's frustrating. Like me at the beginning, I was frustrated how to log, how to organize everything and everything. But once you get everything together, dude, it's like it's like waterway. Like you like get shipping. So because you got to think at first I was printing off labels with an ink printer, having to tape it, cut it, everything else. Once I got that little label printer, that ink free one, dude, minty. I already know how to ship everything else. So you gotta get everything together. But once you do, it's like flies like what is it? What is that saying? It's like a breeze pretty much at that point. It's like a breeze. But my thing is though, like you can start your side hustle, but keep like at the moment keep your job. But like once it starts making more than your day job, then I'd assume. I mean, some people still keep their job even though they're making way more on their side hustle. Pretty much is what it was. Started with me was a side hustle because you got to think I'm still making money off my checks for my wrist, but I was also having extra income from that. So it was making more thing, but once one cuts off, it's like you gotta put way more work into this just to cover the loss of the other thing. That's the issue. People see a little bit and they're like, oh, I don't need this. I'm good to go. I don't need my job. And then you realize, oh, dang, I need a job now because it's not making enough. Or like same thing for outdoor services. You know how winter time comes. Like a lot of people actually who own their own business, sometimes they get a job in the winter. That's because it's slow.
I know quite a few.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, but when summer hits, they're done. Their job, they're like, hey, if you want me back wintertime, I'll be right back here. But once summer hits, I'm making the money because you got to think for outdoor work, summertime, you'll be making thousands and thousands of
My
dollars.
landscaping business a couple of years ago. I remember when winter came, it was like I had me and three other guys. We did everything. But when winter came, it was like, oh man, there's there's not the jobs were far in between. So we all had jobs that we went and worked. And I wasn't no shame in it. I had people who was like, "Don't you own a business?" And I was like, "Hey, it's slow season. Like I'm here to keep the bread pushing." But I made enough money to, even if I wanted to take that off season and just chill, I
Yeah,
could
but
have, but I
yeah,
didn't
but
want
why
to.
not stack it
I
up?
wanted to keep, yeah, I wanted to keep that capital.
But see, that's the reason I want to get more in this reselling stuff because like think about it, summertime. Once that wintertime hits, I still got the reselling there to cover me right there, and plus do small like fall jobs or whatever jobs there, but still have the reselling to cover me in the winter
Right,
and like build that like it's to the point where I want to have a whole building, not like a building, but like a big unit to freaking have everything there.
right, right.
But yeah, pretty much like I said, you can start anything from like I started this like during COVID, and I was like what 19, 20, the time when I started this.
Yeah, little
It's
ass baby.
it's crazy how you can start like a business like dude. You know how proud I was putting my own little business cards at the beginning of that, dude. And everybody's like, oh, like even my sister had like doubts and like, dude, no bullshit. She should have break when I told her I dropped $2,300 on pallets. When you see those two big pallets on the back of my truck that day, yeah, bro, I dropped $2,300 on things. And people were so surprised. They were like, bro, you dropped at $2,300 on a pallet. I was like, dude, because that money's gonna come from that. I'm gonna make it like
The
an easy.
return from that is
Yeah,
gonna be so good.
I mean, it's not. It wasn't a big return. It was like maybe like 1,000, 1,500 return, but still. I'm thinking it was summertime. Like you got to stay in season. Like me, I started with pressure washers. I'm still into the pressure washer game at the moment. It's like I did it. Like they were selling like hotcakes. Like here's like literally first day I made a grand the first day. This selling, and this is only off one pallet of pressure washer. That's it. And like, it's like me. It's like I want to start off with one pallet because you don't want to overwhelm yourself being like, oh, one, two, three pallets. Once that first pallet sold and I had the profit from the first pallet, I was like, why not get a second one if you got enough extra to do it? To like make combos and stuff, make more money. So it's like saying with the pallets, I had a pressure washer and a surface cleaner. So it's like combo deal. Boom, you get this, you get this. We'll knock some money off both. You see, like I'm still making money, but they don't know how much I pay for the pallet. So it's like
Right.
I know how the money to make. But what I'm trying to say is like follow your dreams, bro. Like everybody, like at the end of the day, you're not gonna make a like your money back from working a 9 to 5. Never. I mean, you can make a nice like living, but at the end of the day, if you want to like get financially free, you're never gonna get that from a 9 to 5. Even if you make six figures, you're not. You
Right.
you can live a nice life, but think about it, when you own your own business, like the money that you can make is unlimited. When you're at a 9 to 5, it's limited. Like you can work only so many hours, get so much, and do that. That's the reason why, like, hopefully later on in life, maybe like I'll bring you along if we get that far, and we'll try to get into real estate. That point, because real estate is the biggest key to be financially successful. Is real estate was what I learned. Is once you have those assets and those like passive income, dude, that's where you're meant to. Think about it. You can sleep, wake up.
I like the idea of real estate because of the monetary value you can hold in real estate. Like you have properties, like you have estates that hold what's the equity.
Yeah.
Like I have two friends, one just starting, one deeply involved. I barely hear from the other one that's deeply involved. And he went out to California and just took off.
I would say because that's the thing too.
And
Like,
he's had conversations with me over the phone, but I'm not well knowledgeable in all that terminology of real
okay,
estate.
well, I
So
mean, at that point, then it's like I got it pretty because I done my research because I was trying to wholesale at one point, but I couldn't understand some of the logistics of it. But pretty much it's like this. It's like what there's different kinds of real estate that you can get into. You can get the wholesale, you can get the fix and flip, and you can get the like rentals.
see, my buddy's in the fix and flip.
Yeah, that's what
He
I said.
finds some ran down shit and he
And
invests his own money in fixing them up. And what he flips them for is incredible. He gets those what are they called? The homes that are, man, what's the word I'm
foreclosure.
looking for? Foreclosure. There we go. I couldn't think of it. Thank you. He gets those foreclosed houses and what he does to them. And he sent me pictures before when he first started. And I'm like, I'm looking at these pictures like, bro, you know how much money you're gonna have to sink into this? And he was like, look what I purchased. Look what I'm spending.
And look at the.
Look at what it's going to sell for. And my buddy Tony's been looking to move down here to this city, and he's been looking at the homes, and he was like, "Yo, back home where my parents are from," he's like, "Bro, the difference in pricing." He's
Well,
like,
because you gotta think, it's always location, location, location. That's how it goes.
Noonan is a very high-priced city.
Exactly, like I said, you're gonna live in the location that you want. Like I said, you like literally the same house up here is worth around $180,000. You go out to the country, you're gonna be paying around like $80,000 for the house, pretty much. Pretty much it goes because of the location, or if it has land or whatever, it's a whole different story. But
I will say, like, if you were to compare like Alabama
oh
to
yeah,
like
it's
where we live
stupid
in
cheap.
Noonan, yeah, me and my spouse have talked about getting some land out there because it was like the differential in price range in the land if we were to buy 20 acres out here
Here,
versus 20 acres over there is 40 to $50,000 difference. It's like it's crazy.
but there is a thing that you got because this is a true story for real. Like the thing about that is though, all land is not buildable. That's one
Right.
thing you gotta look at. You got to get that. Um,
We actually don't want to build anything but a big ass house and a small like little ranch on the side, something really really minimal. But we just want the seclusion. We
I mean,
just want to
I
have our like I personally I want to do some dirt bikes and some four wheelers out there and
yeah,
make some
that's
trails
everybody's
and
pretty
stuff
much
like
dream.
this.
Like me, I just want to get some land and build a barndominium. That's my goal and my dream. At the end of the day, is I have that. But like I said, like me, I'm still in my 20s, whatever. You gotta think there's like millionaire 20 years. Yeah, I said that so fucked up.
Yeah.
20-year-old millionaires now. But like I said, that's everybody's saying because everything's on the computer nowadays. But we're into the real
Look at
estate.
that kid that hopped in our live the other night. Remember at first he walked in he hopped on the live and I was like, man, what the fuck is this guy? Like I bet he's gonna irritate me. And I was so enlightened
Oh,
by
dude,
his
you should have
story.
seen. I've never seen Hayes so like clueless, like speechless.
I love I love being challenged. Now, when I say challenged,
Well, since he already is challenged, but
when I say challenged, I don't mean disrespectful. We gonna argue. I like the intellectual. I like somebody that's gonna come with knowledge and intelligence and present whatever they're challenging me with. And man, this guy came on the live and we were having a discussion about some things. And first of all, the way he sounded. At first, I was like, he has no standpoint in this argument at all. And it was crazy how
I'm gonna
what
let you
he
finish that
flipped.
topic though. But we're gonna hop back to that real estate once you get done with that. Like I was just saying, like if you're trying to get into like the real estate game or whatever, like you're trying to physically get into it, like I was just gonna do the different forms. Like the wholesaling is just on paper. You don't see the real estate, nothing. You're literally looking for the property and you look at the listing, see what you can flip. It's like saying, but with a wholesaler, you're not making the big money. You're making maybe like seven. You can make like $3,000 to $10,000 or more on it, but you're just selling paper. You're not doing nothing physically. Like you're not buying this house. You're not doing nothing with it. All you're doing is flipping. All you're doing is buying you're getting the contract, right?
You're just a realtor
No,
at
no,
that
no,
point.
not even that. Not even that. Like you're just the person getting the paper. You get in the contract, and it's like saying, hey, you're gonna look for an investor. You like for the wholesale, you're gonna find the person to fix and flip it. That's the person like you're the wholesaler looking for a person to fix and flip it and make that little quick buck on the contract. That's it. That's all you're doing is making the money on the contract. That's it. And then
So you
pretty
mean to tell me there's somebody that doesn't leave the comfort of a desk and literally just does all the paperwork and sets everything in motion and then sells it and makes a commission?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a realtor.
Well, not really, because you got to go through like a realtor. Well, not really, but it's just
I mean, you need licensing to do something like that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you got to like get a realtor or something, but you really don't. Actually, you don't have to get none of that. All you got to do is know numbers and look at the freaking I'm gonna feel so dumb for not knowing this, but I know the word I just can't get out of my mouth. But it's like knowing the value of it afterwards. It's like saying you're doing all the numbers and shit, and you're showing it to the investors like, hey, if you put this much money in here, you can make this much, but I'll sell you the contract for this much, and you're just making the commission off it. And like you can really do it out of state, whatever. You can do everything. You can literally do it from
My thing
anywhere.
is
And
though is who is handing you the contract to
okay,
sell this property?
okay. So look, the thing about this is like You can make your own like literally you tell you how easy it is. It's easy, but it's not. It sounds simple, but it's really not. Cause I've tried to get into it and I really couldn't get into it like I wanted to. But it's like saying you get the contract, you look at the numbers. If the numbers look right at where you can make a commission off of it, and then if some like a flipper wants to buy it, you send it to the title. You guys send it to a title person, get both of them to sign it, and then they sign also your contract that you made up to go with it.
Right.
And then boom, there's your commission. You just get your check. Cause I'm in a whole reseller like group on Facebook, several of them. Then people are like making money, money, money. But you gotta know the connections and everything into that somewhat too.
Right.
Or you can start by yourself like everybody. Some people do too. But it always helps having connections in the game, or
Right.
like anything
Right.
you get into. But there's that one, and then you got the fix and flip, which is obvious. You buy the house, you rehab it, you get your, I guess it's ARV or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna sound so dumb for that, but pretty much you're gonna find the big, like the end value of it to get your money back out of that. And then you also got the rental properties. That's pretty much it at that point. Like you're just buying it to rent it out and have passive income at that point to have consistent equity, assets, everything like that. But like I said, if you're like doing certain like if you're getting like a loan for the house though, as a first time home buyer, go 3.5%. Like you can get that it's a FHA loan, three and a half
Right.
percent down on their first home. Or like some people did though, like you can buy a duplex or a triplex and rent out one side of the house. For an FHA loan though, you have to have a what is it? You have to live in the house for a year before anything. If you do that, I'll say you an asshole. I thought you was gonna do something funny.
No,
But
I was actually keeping up with some of the comments
is
on your
anybody even
thing.
commenting?
You have an admirer. Somebody said, "Can you tell your mom and dad?" I said, "Thank you for the artwork," and then they have a funny emoji face, and I was like, "Oh."
Interesting.
Her name is Bree. This man talking about some he don't got no home.
What? What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Now are
Exactly.
we ready for the are we
Yeah,
ready
but
for the
yeah,
next topic?
hop on to your thing. Pretty much, it really. Oh, never like like okay, like FHA though. If you're getting a triplex or a duplex, you gotta be living on that property for a year before you can move. But it's a smart. It's like a house hack. It's like saying the other person's paying your rent, you live there for free.
Okay.
And it's like saying you live on one half, they live in the other half, or whatever like little thing you got, and it's like a house hack. And then once you move out of there, once you move out, you get that whole extra income once in that little place.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
That's what I was gonna think about doing was getting like a duplex so as my first property, renting out half, and then once I was able to leave after a year, rent out the other places, and boom, that's my first property. But I lived in it, I have equity in it already, and everything else. But you know how it is.
I have an inherited house in Puerto Rico, and I wanted to get into like you just said the logistics of all that to figure it out and see like what I could do to flip this home. And I really don't want to sell it. I'd rather rent it, like lease it out, and just have somebody pay me to live there because I'm not in Puerto Rico anyways, and I don't really trust nobody with the property. So I don't know. It was an idea,
I mean, but
but that's a good little
it's,
thing
it's pretty
to
much like
look
an
into.
educational type of thing. Like I was trying to, put out there at that point.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. But next topic. So, like I said before, being that it's Friday the 13th, and we are in the month of Halloween,
Hmm.
I want you to tell me because I know your answer already,
I know you.
but I want to dive into it a little bit more. Is like who is your favorite scary movie, horror movie, film character, and why? Like who are you rooting for? Who you going with?
Bro, I already know. I gotta go OG, bro. Jason Voorhees, dude.
Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, I mean, cause look, I mean, it's just the character. I like the character personally too, but it's like honestly, I like his backstory. I like how Crystal Lake. He was just a regular kid, and it was like one of those. He got bullied, and then he drowned in the lake because the kids chased him, and then he couldn't know how to swim, but they teased him for it and everything else. And then when he drowned, he came back and fucking killed every goddamn body who came to that Crystal Lake. Because in my head, like they sort of explained it, but they really didn't. But it was like, you know, I guess every time he came back afterwards, like he killed everybody that came back to Crystal Lake at some point. But then he left Crystal Lake and went on a whole voyage of doing shit everywhere else.
Right.
And then Freddy came along, and the last one, the series that ended all, Freddy versus Jason, and that one,
Was that the last one?
well, that's one that I can low key recall at that point, but that one was like honestly one of my favorites. That one and the first one, cause it's crazy though how in the first one though, the first Jason that they had on there, you know who played the character though?
Who?
His mom. His mom was Jason.
Ah,
It
yeah,
wasn't
I
even
remember
him.
that.
But
You
I don't know what it's just a character that I can mess with, cause like Michael Myers and all them, yeah, but it's just like I don't know. I just like Jason's thing. It's just like
you're right.
his
Freddy versus Jason was.
the last one.
I thought Jason X came out after
Mm-mm.
Freddy versus Freddy. For Jason X, like I know you root for your boy. They could have left
I
that one
I
out of the
even I even
whole.
said the same thing. I didn't like that one really. The
Yeah,
space thing. I
like it
wasn't
was too far for me, but it was like okay, cool. I see what y'all did there, but I love Jason versus Freddy. Now I'm not gonna lie.
because like it was funny, stupid, and like serious all at the same time.
Now I'm not gonna lie. As a child, I was super scared of all those scary movies and stuff. My stepdad made me watch a documentary on Discovery Channel where they showed people they showed the scary monsters and villains how they were made of rubber in their mask. So I watched the show where like they peeled back the mask off of Pinhead from Hellraiser. I was terrified of that guy growing up. I would see that nigga in my sleep. Like I could not. I I just couldn't do it. And my favorite, jumping back into it, my favorite scary movie person. It's only because I wasn't scared of them. I love the story. I had a crush on the character. Um, it was Ghostface. Scream.
But Crutch.
Sydney Prescott? I
Oh
forgot the
yeah.
name of that actress, but oh my god. I loved her. And I don't like how now here we are, 20 years later and they got all these new screams because of course now the plot twists with every story. That was my favorite one.
Because now they had the new Scream and they had the TV series. TV series
I
was
have not watched the TV series.
TV series was I watched a few episodes. TV series wasn't really the best, but I like it.
I
It's just
love
not
the
the
movies,
same.
but I still like the first three will forever hold reign in
Yeah,
my.
when you get that phone call, when you get that little phone call, yeah.
What's your favorite scary movie? Like I love that shit, bro. But okay, so we've got our favorites out of the way, but who scared you? Who actually out of these? Because I know there's so many, but what scary movie might have actually scared you?
Like with characters wise, or just in general scary movie.
I guess we can go with. Does it involve a character? Like one of these iconic
No,
horror
not
guys?
really.
Not really. Okay, well tell me what scary movie then scared
That
you?
that sort of made me jump though was sort of like low key like the Insidious movies.
What?
Like the first one got me. Like it was just like it's really it's like honestly really any scary movie, but Insidious one like the first one's what really got me. The other ones really weren't like that, but the first one sort of got me just because of like something not like scared, but like jump. Like I was really never scared. I'll just jump. But it's like, cause something pops out of nowhere and it gets you, and it gets you like off guard, so it's gonna get me regardless.
Right, right.
Like same thing with like Annabelle and stuff. But like the character that's like that we forgot about though. How can we forget about Chucky out of anything?
I never. Chucky just never did it for me, dog. I can't. I don't know. And it's not that I don't like them. I thought they were good movies, but it was more comical to me. Like you have this killer little doll, and I think it's cool to dress your kids up as Chucky, because they're
Yeah.
so little. But I like they're good movies. Chucky was good nonetheless, but it wasn't. I don't know, bro. I could live without Chucky, but at the same time, you have to add Chucky when you add the big dogs in. But do you know what scary what? And it wasn't a scary movie. Okay, so there's a movie called The Prophecy. There's a few movies called The Prophecy. It's starring Christopher Walken, and it's a battle of heaven and hell. Those types of movies used to scare me because of how I was taught as a child to fear God and the devil and all this stuff. So in the movie, there's a scene where hell opens up out of the ground and this burnt hand reaches up and it's Lucifer coming to earth. Bro, I couldn't sleep. My mother, I would get cold sweats. I was getting sleep deprived. My mom had to come in the room and hold me and shake me. I was terrified of the idea that God's trying to protect me, but these fucking demons are coming up from. As a child, my thought was, I would look at the ground, and you know how they say, step on a crack, break your mama's back. I would look at the cracks on the ground, and I would run back inside. Because to me, those cracks was like, yo, that's where he's about to fucking rise up out of and come get me. I'd be like, dear Lord, I'm sorry I stole that Tootsie Roll. Like, it was just a Tootsie Roll. Dear Lord, don't take me. Like, I was, bro, it was crazy. And still till this day, when it comes to movies that are about Christianity and the devil versus angels and stuff, those movies still, anything that has to do with demon, like The Nun, no,
Oh, that none.
I almost kicked in La Llorona. I almost kicked my fucking TV screen in. And you know what sucks, bro? It's like watching the movies as an adult. You learn, yeah, it's fake, blah 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 blah. You learn to appreciate the
But
film content and the
but you
quality
gotta
of the
think about
movie.
it. If they can still scare me and you know it's fake,
But bro, after I watch scary movies, I will be 35 years old. I still walk to I turn the lights on and I run when I turn them off to the next light if the lights are off
oh
in
my
the
god,
house,
you did that
bro.
too?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember like as a kid though, like when I would watch a scary movie, like I'd be dumb. I don't know why I do it, but I always be watching a scary movie at night.
Like if it's some mutated monster that they created, that shit like Doom, aliens and mummies and zombies, none of that scares me. But as soon as you bring demons into the topic, my beliefs. Believe them things exist, bro. There's good and there's bad. So like when I watch these movies, I'm like, yo, what evil spirit? Like, don't come in my house. If I see somebody look remotely evil, yo, stay outside, bro. I got a stage and I gotta do some stuff to my house, man.
Maybe like that, bro. Like, I mean, shit. I'm not gonna lie, it used to be the same way because I don't know why though. Like, I'd always watch a scary movie at night though, and then I gotta go to sleep afterwards. So I gotta go to sleep.
Your mind is still inside that fucking movie. It messes
Yeah.
with my sleep. Like my
And
dreams will
then,
be.
or like I'd be waking up in the middle of the night and I look up, or like, have you ever like sometimes after doing that, or just in general though, you look up in the straight dark and you feel like somebody, like there's a figure just
Someone's
there.
watching you. Someone's present with you. You feel a presence.
Yeah.
You can't see anything, but you feel a presence. I've actually had that happen quite a bit in the house I live in now, and it's always between 2, 3, and 4 in the
Dude,
morning
that's
is when it happens. I know that's the bewitching hour or the time where all those comes. And you know, in my household there are yearns with past relatives. Some of the people in my house believe, hey, that's them. They just paying a visit to watch over us. But if that presence is enough to startle me out of my sleep, I question, is that a good presence? Like, it gets some nights. That's why you be seeing me up at 4 or 5 in the morning sometimes, cause something don't woke me up, and I just can't. I can't get back to sleep. I'll go downstairs, turn all the lights on, start playing the game, put on some music, start reading something that distracts me from thinking all the bad possible about what just happened.
yeah,
Because in
yeah.
my mind, I was like, damn, did a demon just come in here? Like, is there a haunted toy? Like, is there a spirit in my house bugging me? Like, I don't know what everyone's beliefs are, but like I said, I do believe that there's a lot out there that we
Okay,
we can't feel and touch.
so at that point then, okay, since we're talking about movies, then what about some real life stuff? Like, do you believe like spirits are like real, like in real life, and ghosts? Like, do you like superstitious and all that too?
I guess when it comes to superstition, it would be hypocritical for me to say I'm not superstitious, but I don't know if superstitious would believe into my beliefs of spirits and ghosts. I've had some experiences in life and going to certain relatives, especially being Puerto Rican. I've gone to some of my spiritualist relatives to tell them what's happened, and they've given me certain explanations. In certain cases, they gave me or taught me certain things to help me in those situations that have worked, that have gotten that feeling away, that eerie cold air that brushes through and you feel something, or at one point I saw something when I was younger. Like, I don't want to get too much into the details because I don't care for the critics, I don't care for everybody else. But when I was younger, I where we lived at was has said to you rewind 200 years back, and up the hill from the apartment complex where we were living, the little ghetto we lived in, was a witch burial ground hundreds of years ago. When you went into those woods, there was a cave kind of thing that you could go into. It went down and it had like a room in it. There was no exit out of that room, and it was really cold. And you're thinking I'm in Puerto Rico, like it's 110 degrees on a normal day there. It gets cold in that room, but you feel something in there, bro. And every now and then we would venture into the woods, playing around, riding our bikes and stuff. And on a few occasions, bro, we saw goat heads cut off sitting in front of the cave. I told my daddy, I was like, hey man, he's like, yo, dude, don't touch the goat heads. Get away from them. Walk in the opposite direction. Do not look back until you don't look back at all. Just walk away. Get away from that area because it was said to believe that they were still practicing satanic rituals there. There was a story. I don't know if it was made up or not. And maybe when they told me the story, my mind created this character in my head. But I remember I woke up one night and I had a CD player and I would plug it in. It had a plug-in to plug into the wall so I wouldn't waste my batteries. And I know one night it starts beeping that it's dying. I'm like, yo, it's plugged into the wall. Like, why is this not going on? Yo, I wake up, try to turn on the light switch. The light switch ain't even working. It is dead fucking silent in the middle of this neighborhood where usually you hear sirens, gunshots. There's people outside at all times. It's dead silent, almost to where you could hear echoes of shit. I'm like, oh, this is weird, but the power would go out every now and then, so I wasn't scared. I went to lay down in my bed, and bro, it gets cold in this room,
Yeah,
cold.
cause usually what they say is like when you see like hear like feel the cold, usually that's when you know it's like there's a like a spirit or something in presence.
So it got super cold. To me, it surprised me. Like living in Puerto Rico for the time I hadn't felt cold unless it was right in front of the AC or my head was stuck in the freezer. So when it gets cold, I'm thinking this is awkward, this is chilly, and I'm like, I'm gonna wake up and walk the house. We lived in the apartment, a small little apartment, 3 bedroom apartment. I get up and when I go to my front door, bro, it's like the closer I get to my door, I feel like I'm forcing myself to move forward. Like I'm like, why? And I move forward, and bro, I look down the fucking hallway, and in my hallway is a black-haired, black-eyed, beat up, scarred woman in what looked like a tarp, just standing in my hallway. But to get to my dad's room,
Yeah, the past.
I had to go that way.
Bet you lucky shit a break.
Um, I ended up on the floor screaming at the top of my lungs. I woke everybody in the house up. I am shaking. I'm cold. To them, it didn't even make sense how cold I was. My dad called one of my aunts. I couldn't talk. I was scared. I don't remember exactly how I felt in that moment. I just knew anytime I went to talk, like my breath was getting taken from me. So of course they called my aunt. We go to their house the next day, and I'm able at that point to explain, like, I didn't go to school or anything, bro. I couldn't leave my room. I was terrified. And when I told them what happened, my aunt, she did a prayer for me because they're santeros. She did
Yeah.
a prayer for me, and she told me that there are things on the other side, and I had an out of body experience with one of them. And going back to that house, it was terrifying because as soon as nightfall came, like my
He's like, is it gonna happen
my
again?
stepbrother moved into my room with me. I could not be in the room by myself. Like it was so bad he slept right by me. We're talking about a twin bed, a teenager and a kid because I'm like 11 years old, 12. He's already 15, 16. And dude, I couldn't. And that happened on another occasion. But when the second occasion happened, I went to my grandparents' house from my mother's side. I wasn't sleeping good. So, of course, when Abuela picked me up, she could see it. Like, are you okay? You good? My dad's
I
like,
know. I know you had lucky to be scared like shitless though, low key still.
my dad explained to her, some things have been going on at night. I haven't been able to sleep. My grandma was just like, okay, cool. I got in the car. And I don't know, bro. I just started crying as soon as we pulled out. I tell my grandmother what happened. As soon as we get to the house, my grandmother grabbed her Bible and she just started praying. My grandparents were my godparents. They do not believe in Santeria. They're like, that is, to them, that's like the devil kind of stuff.
It's like saying for us, like we got the fucking chupacabra type shit.
Yeah, we had the chupacabra too. But she prayed for me, and after she prayed for me, I remember calling my mom. I told my mom what happened. My mom starts going on because she's like, "That's because you're so close to your family doing those things that you're starting to see and feel things because you're getting involved in that. Don't." I was 11, 12. I wasn't trying to get involved in none of that. I didn't know anything. Like everybody had beads and candles and shit, but I didn't know to the extent what it was. I was just thinking it was cool necklaces and candles. And after my grandmother prayed for me, it never happened again. And I remember my mom, when my grandmother died, I had a little experience the night that she passed. We didn't find out till 2 days later that my grandmother had passed, but the night my grandmother was reported dead was the same night I had a dream with her. And my mom always told me, she was like, your grandmother was your godparent. She was your guardian angel. She always kept you in her prayer. And like, I believe to this day, bro,
She,
that she stays. Like I said, I'm not trying to get into nothing too religious or on that level, but I do believe for a fact the love that that woman had for me is so powerful. It's what's kept me and gotten me through a lot of shit. Because my grandmother's favorite thing was lavender. My grandmother couldn't wear regular perfumes and use regular soap and things with scents in it like we could. It broke her skin out. Lavender was the one thing that she used because it didn't break her out. And I've been in certain situations, bro, where I'm sitting there contemplating what the next move is. Like, am I going to make it? Is this right? Is this not? And I'd smell lavender. It's only happened 4 times. And those are 4 critical times that I smelled the lavender and got the hell on. And I'm still here today. And I do believe that that was her. That was her presence is in the lavender. Like my wife uses lavender at the house and it throws me off sometimes. Because I'll be sitting there playing the game and I'll be like, fuck you, you mother. And I'll smell lavender like, hey, my bad. Like I know it's just a kid on Call of Duty, but I'm sorry. And then she'll be like, I'm burning a lavender wax candle thing. And I was like, I could still cuss that kid out.
yeah, but this is still a sign though. Don't matter if it's like was intentional or not. It's still that
But
sin
that's
gotta
why I
be.
tell people that hop on Facebook with the whole I'm a witch or I'm a brujo, bruja, or I want to try this and try that. I tell people all the time, be careful playing with those things.
Cause it once you get in there in that spiritual world, there ain't no coming back really. Cause once you get a spirit on you or does anything like evil on you or whatever, you really can't get that out really.
There is a, I mean,
There's a way, but
my
still.
family gave me something before I came to the States. You know, my mom asked me about my beads and shells and stuff like that that I had, and I was told that that stuff isn't supposed to be able to travel over water when you leave land. My family does not believe that. So what they do is they tell you go to the beach in your right hand, whatever whatever beads, necklaces, whatever things you use for whatever rituals or whatever, keep them in your hand. Turn around, toss them over your right shoulder, walk away from the beach. Do not look back at the water. Do not look at anything. You can look at it later on once you got home. And you got to think I lived like 11 minutes walking from the beach. So I went straight to my house and closed myself in my room. Got on a plane the next day and came back to the States. And since I've lived here back in Georgia, I have not had any weird like I get them little feelings at night like somebody's there or whatever, but compared to some of the things I went through in Puerto Rico, bro, I haven't had anything even near remotely comparable to those situations. But I know on that island there's a lot of spirituality. There's a lot of people that believe in using the brujeria to to mess with you. Like my dad always said that he had bad luck and it was somebody's been doing witchcraft on him his whole life and they didn't like him. And he was like, man, whoever's doing the witchcraft, can they at least bless me with a couple of dollars or something? And I was like,
And they might as
I was
well.
like, somebody got a voodoo doll of you, bro. He was like,
They're
they
poking.
might.
They poking you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, question like, okay, speaking of the voodoo dolls, like, do you believe if somebody actually makes one of you, you think it really can like do something to you? If you really think about it,
Yeah.
think so?
I do believe, like I said, that there's a line and we can't see it that can be crossed into another world. And I believe that these spirits and these evil things, and I do believe that just like there's the good, we believe in miracles, we believe in Holy spirits or positive present spirits that give us the divine, you know, light and all that good stuff that we hear about. I do believe that just like there's equally good, there's equally bad. I do believe that.
So you know what's crazy? Like I think this, but I want to get your opinion on it. So like in my head, you know how like we're living here, people can see us, right?
Right.
I feel like also in my head though, like there's a spiritual world that's like it's like saying there's people like in here now, they're living their life here too. We just can't see what they're doing. Like there's people like there's like ghosts, spirits and everything like living their life around us. Like they're living their normal lives but they're dead. It's like saying maybe like here somebody's living in this room, like this is somebody's room, like this is somebody's family home, but in the spiritual world, not here. You know what I'm saying? Sort of. Like I feel like it's a whole different type of like this, like the line part you're talking about. Like this is a whole different line. Like we're in the living, they're in the dead, but they're still living their lives as they go. It's like saying those people driving down the road, but in spiritual world, not real life, where you can like we can see it, but they can see it. But the weird part is, I feel like they can see what we're doing, but they can't. But we can't see what they're doing.
I I hear you on that. That is an interesting. That's a very interesting perspective to look into. I do believe that, let's say this house, just for example, this house might be, we'll just say 100 years old. In 100 years, so many generations could have lived here for whatever amount of time, or one person could have lived here in those 100 years. And I do believe if they die in this house, they have a presence still.
Yeah. Plus,
Depending on how they died, you know what I mean? Like, I also believe that some spirits don't make it to hell or heaven.
here's another thing. Like, oh, we can't get into that part, but I was gonna say you believe in either or, but you get into that. It's a whole different. That's we're just not gonna dive into that.
Right, right. That'll be too deep.
Yeah, no. But speaking on that haunted season, bro, like might as well get a little happy into it. What was your favorite costume as a kid dressing up as?
Like out of all the different costumes I had.
Yeah.
All right, I was 7, 6, 7 years old. I can't tell you what costume I wanted. I just know that the availability to get the costume ran out. There was no more of this costume. Halloween snuck up in my house. Everyone's getting ready to go trick or treating, and I don't have a costume. I remember thinking as a kid, I was sad. I was like, man, I don't have a costume. My stepdad goes and gets a T-shirt that he has with all kinds of crazy little monsters on it. He got a pair of his pants. He starts ripping them up, cutting them up, painting dirt, putting blood, this and that on it. He goes outside and he gets a chain that he had in the backyard that went around the fence to lock the fence. He gets the chain, comes back inside. He has a beat up belt, puts his pants on me, loops the belt around, puts the shirt on me. I'm sitting here what
What
are
the
you
fuck is this?
doing? They painted my face, made me look like kind of like a zombie vampire kind of thing. I had blood coming from my mouth. My eyes were black. I looked dirty. They mess up my hair. He puts the chain around my neck. I get my little shoes that I was wearing, and then they give me like these gloves, and I got like scratch marks on my arm. And I remember when we went to one of the first houses that we went to trick or treat, like all the kids were like, "Who are you? Oh my God, that looks so cool!" And I'm sitting here like, "What? Oh man!" And I remember the pictures my stepdad took, and it's like one of those little memories. Me and him had a rough go for a long time, but this is one of the good memories we share because he told me he was like, man, he said I was a little upset we couldn't get the costume you wanted. And he's like, what parent doesn't want their kids to dress up? But he was like, fuck it, we're gonna make the best out of this. And it like I wish I had the picture or can pull it up. I actually have the picture at my house, so I have
So
to show you.
we'll upload it for you so you can see the picture.
Right, right, yeah, because it's an old Polaroid, but man, it was the best costume ever. It looked authentically put together, not like a dress up Power Ranger or a little, character. Like it looked grungy, it looked Halloweeny, it looked cool. And I think that was literally we still don't to this day don't know what the hell I was. We didn't have a title for it.
But it
It
was
was just
just
like Happy Halloween. And every house I went to, all the parents were like, "What?" The only thing I remember though that bothered me about it was that heavy ass chain.
chain.
It wasn't no fake chain like from the store, the plastic ones. That shit was a real metal chain that he used after a
You
certain
were just
part of the
like,
night. Bro, I felt like I had at an early age, like I had grown my what are these called right here? Like those muscles on your
oh,
shoulders.
pretty much like delts, pretty much.
Man, I felt like I had developed those at an early age because of that chain that night. Bro, we walked like 3 different neighborhoods. I was when I took the chain off, I felt so light.
You were like, yeah,
Got a
I'm that guy.
workout, bro. But I
Like
think
I'm that guy now.
that was my favorite costume, dude. What about yours?
Surprisingly, it was when my mom worked at North Fayette back in the day. She worked at Fire Elm. She was cafeteria lady, and she made some good friends up there and stuff. And one of her friends had like an authentic Michael Myers costume, like legit, like
Like the blue suit,
yeah,
the face with the
like
hair.
straight from movie, like
Oh,
$300-400 type of
and
costume.
they gave it to you. They
No, they
let you
let
wear
me
it.
use it. They let me use it.
Oh man, that had to be dope.
It was like, look, but that mask though was not it. Like I'd wear it for a good amount of the night, but like it's hard to breathe in and stuff.
Yeah,
But
you had to
like,
take that bitch off. You start sweating and
but
getting all funky.
it was like look like legit straight from the movie. But it wasn't because it was back then, so it wasn't like the newer ones. You know how his face is messed up. It was like the original mask from like the first
It was
one.
just that straight cold-blooded face.
Yeah, that first like white mask you see is like that. When you used to, but like I don't know if I have any pictures on it or not,
Oh, you
but
know what? Why don't we talk about Michael Myers? We get a lot of hate, man. Let him go. He's done. You watched the last movie. He's done. To y'all producers, movie makers, and what was her name? His sister's name. What's that actress's name? Like, let it go, sis. He done. I'm tired of a new Michael Myers movie every year. For real. And you Michael Myers freaks out there that get off on this shit, let him die. Rewatch the other movies. They're
yo,
streamable, bro. This ain't hate. This ain't hate at all. Let him go. Let it go. Okay? Frozen. Let it go. He's done. I'm tired of Michael Myers.
bro, what you mean? It was done last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
That's
they
what I'm saying. But give it another year or two, and some weird chapter's gonna open up. Why? By in
what
the
that he magically what the spirit now is just gonna do it?
yeah.
I was gonna say you gotta think. You
Didn't
right?
Jason come back to life? Not
Yeah.
being hateful towards Jason. I like Jason over Michael any day. But oh man, that would be a good one. That'd be a good versus Michael versus Jason.
You know what be a good like good one big movie. All of them in one.
Wait,
They don't have all of them in one.
wasn't Michael Myers
No,
in the movie with Jason and Freddy?
no. It was like they clipped it together. It wasn't real.
Ah,
They clipped it like they were all, but they really wasn't. You know, it'd be good though. Having like Scream, Jason, Freddy, Michael, freaking what's some other good characters? I think that's really like the OG characters from back in the day that you can really say anything about. But just imagine all of them in one movie.
see, I'm gonna get a little ghetto though. I like Pinhead, Leprechaun,
Oh, dude, I forgot. We can include No,
Poltergeist,
we can include Pennywise.
It.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, that clown, bro. I'm the worst big brother of all time. So like when I was little, we didn't have TVs in our rooms. Our parents didn't let us have TVs in our rooms to a certain age. We had one TV in the living room. My parents had a TV in their room. We had a TV in the den. But the den, no one was allowed in the den till mom and dad woke up. We had a TV in the living room. My brothers and sisters would wake up before me and come in there and pop in Blues Clues, and we'd have to watch the same Blues Clues cassette all day long. And I
Hey,
like,
what's wrong with Blue's Clues? Blue's,
I, I,
Blue's Clues was my shit.
yeah, I bet it wasn't mine. I was already older when that came
But
out.
like,
No, but listen. So I was like, I gotta figure out a way to be able to. I just wanted to watch my
hey,
Saturday morning
but pause though
cartoon.
before you continue though. Look, no matter if you hate Blue's Clues or not though, everybody knows that big ass red chair.
Sit down in my thinking chair and think. I know the fucking song by heart. Fuck that chair. I step on that chair just like I stepped on this couch. Um,
Booty tickled
so
ass.
I had to figure out.
Booty
Shut up.
tickle.
So I had to figure out in the mornings, like how can I wanted to watch Rocket Power and a couple of other cartoons that used to come on, and I was like, man, how am I going? If they get to the living room, and if they cried for the TV, my parents would naturally give it to them over me, like let them watch their TV shows. You're the older brother, you need to da 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 da. Found out that they were terrified of it. We had the It cassette tape, but on the front of it, its face is on it. I would sit there in front of the hallway, bro, and I'd watch my little brother come out of the room bouncing in the morning, and as soon as he saw that shit, he would turn around, horrified, and they would stay in their room.
It's just a tape cover, though.
It's just the tape cover. And I'm in the living room with a big ass bowl of cereal watching my cartoons. But as soon as I heard my parents had a very loud bed. As soon as they moved and their bed made a sound, I fucking ran, moved the cassette tape. You guys go ahead and go watch your cartoons. And I'd go back in my room. They snitched on me at one point of the day, but I used to terrorize them for years with that, bro.
You would be the fucking do some shit like that.
I was that older brother. But it hardened them because they're not scared of shit no more.
I bet. Like, oh, you think you can scare me? You should see the shit my little older brother did to me when I was a kid.
Yep, but I love my siblings, man. I love my siblings, but yeah, I used to terrify them. Damn, so let's see, let's go down the list. You got Freddy, Michael, Jason, Chucky.
Oh, damn, I forgot about Chucky.
Right.
Question: Are you gonna include Chucky's wife in it too?
The bride of Chucky, and his little.
Nah, don't. We not gonna
his
get
child.
it.
His
Yeah,
child.
just
I
go
don't
say
know. That's a they. That's a them. That child.
we're not
Have
gonna.
you seen the TikTok page where they go back and forth on Twitter, and it's all the scary movie icons are going back and forth? That shit is hilarious.
Yeah, you showed me.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so
Okay,
then you got Chucky and his family.
Then you got Annabelle then too, but like
Annabelle.
But yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't care for Annabelle.
No, I'm talking about like OG characters though. I'm talking about
and
OG.
that will go back to Freddy, Jason, Michael. Chucky is still amongst those OGs because he came out in those times.
Pennywise. That's really.
I still want to go with Pinhead and the Leprechaun.
Oh, that
Pinhead Hellraiser has quite a few movies. I don't.
But they're not iconic though.
To who?
I've never heard of them. I never heard of Pinhead.
Never heard of Pinhead. Do you even know what he looks like?
No.
No? Oh man.
But like, yeah.
Pinhead is iconic though to like
your
my
generation.
Parents.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say your generation. Yeah, never. No.
Yeah, that movie was crazy. Would you add?
No,
if you want to go OG.
Saw.
I was just about to say, what's his name, bro?
Nah, I don't even know.
Oh, no, we gotta honor
That's
him
bad.
properly.
I'll say because
Jigsaw.
Yeah, Jigsaw. Yeah.
Jigsaw. Yeah, I'm about to say if we had that, but he's like a newer.
Oh, dude, I forgot about the new movie that just came out with too.
Newer OG. There's a new Saw.
Yeah.
When did it come out?
Like a few days ago.
Oh, for real? Oh,
it's fresh.
We got to do a movie trip then. I got to see that.
Bro, what you mean we got to?
I love the Saw movies. I thought that whoever came up with that was good. Because the problem I'm having these days, bro, when it comes to the movie genre, nobody has original ideas anymore. Everyone's doing remakes, for one. If not remakes, they're turning movies into sagas. Like, I still tune into them though. I criticize them so much because I'm like, who the fuck flies what is it, whatever?
No, I forgot the name of it,
but these guys are flying cars in space, saving the fucking world. This started as a street racing fucking movie, and it has turned into them saving the world. And I talk shit,
but it's still.
But I'm right there when it comes out. I ain't gonna lie. Jason Momoa in the last one, I was like, what is Jason Momoa gonna do? And then I was so mad because I was blindsided. I bootlegged it. I go to the bootleg website before it hits the actual theaters, and when I seen it, I was like, this is only the first half. Like, y'all still trying to keep this franchise alive by dividing.
I mean, but think about it. Like Ludacris said though, it's like, think about it. If you're spending $200 million making a movie and you're making over $1 billion, why not keep it going?
Oh yeah,
it's the money talks.
For sure.
That's literally what he said. He was like, because why they said like, why y'all keep going? Because think about it. Like what I just said. Why end it if there's so much more money to be made there?
And then here's the thing, the last name Toretto, this is what threw me off. Toretto, I thought, was Italian. They have an abuela in the movie. Like, abuela shows up. She's like full-blown Latina. I was like, oh, so you guys are Latinos now? It made no sense to me. No sense at all.
Wait, I didn't know he was Italian. I thought it was like a.
Well, no, I assumed.
Mm.
I don't know that the
See, that's
last
see
name
that's why you.
Toretto.
That's why you gotta quit judging a book by its cover, bro.
Toretto to me sounded Toretto. Fast and the Furious. Now I gotta look it up.
I bet. I mean, but still, but like, dude, like, we're on Halloween, bro. We ain't into that yet, though. But I low key wanna go check out the new Jigsaw movie though, cause it looks the new Saw movie. It looks pretty minty. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I believe it. I like that. I love that plot in that movie.
Honestly, I loved all of them. To be honest, it's crazy. I just like all the Saws. I'm not gonna lie. Even though, like, honestly, as a kid, those low key scared me. I ain't gonna lie.
The Saw ones.
Yeah, just because of like all the like freaky, like crazy stuff they do in it.
I do believe I do say every time I watched one it was intense.
Like
It left me on my chair, gave me anxiety.
you know what got me heated though. Like one of the times in the movies, I don't know which Saw it was, but I feel like people who watch Saw is gonna know exactly what I'm talking about.
Here's an iconic movie from my time that was a very scary movie that you might not remember. Pet Cemetery.
I heard about it. Oh
There's
no,
a newer version of
I know
it.
you talking about. I know you talking
I
about.
have not
I
watched
know
it.
exactly talking about the older movie, but I'll get into that in a second.
Fucking
I
Cujo.
just want to finish this little freaking Saw thing. But remember one of the movies in Saw where like it was like you had a time to find a key, right? But it was a person in a bathtub and they got out of the bathtub and they pulled the fucking plug and the key was already in the water and it went down the drain literally. So no matter what, you already lost. So he literally had to cut. He had to cut his foot, his ankle, well, his actual foot off just to get out.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's crazy. I was like, think about it, like, but like, who would ever think you got kidnapped and thrown in somewhere? Like, you don't expect to check the water before you wake up. You just expect this to get out and go. But on Pet Cemetery though, I remember because it was like it started off with a cat. They buried the cat in a certain like soil or whatever, and it came back to life back right back home, but it was not the same. It became into like a ranged freaking damn animal, and then like I remember they kept doing it with animals, and then they tried it on a person, and then the person came back so mutated. Is that what the movie you're talking about?
Uh, no, bro.
What? That's got to be it. That's it.
It might be. Hold on a
Wow,
second.
how the hell you know? I know it. That's exactly what it
Dr.
is.
Luis Creed moves his family to Maine, where he meets a friendly local named da 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 after the Creed's cat. You're right. And
Yeah.
advises. I didn't remember the cat part. The cat part was the only part I didn't remember.
Stupid.
But I was trying to bring up iconic horror movies from when I was little.
Okay. Also, ones
You're
like
right.
if we're
That's
talking about iconic too, then like Candyman, Candyman, Boogeyman,
Candyman.
Candyman,
Candyman
Candyman.
was fucking. Oh
That
man.
shit was weird.
We had an abandoned house literally directly across the street from my house. And one night, one of the guys in our neighborhood, he was a dope dealer, but he was standing on the front porch and it looked like he had a fucking trench coat. And I had just seen Candyman. I thought he was Candyman. I was scared out of my fucking life. Told my parents Candyman was across the street. They was like, yeah, you're not watching movies with us no more. You going to bed.
That Boogeyman, and then what else you got? Freaking. There's a lot. Hey, but what about some good ones though? Like not non-scary though. What about those good?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good. The last one that I saw, which was one of the newest one I just saw it, I think last year. The gore in that movie looked fake. Like it just didn't look real
But
enough for me.
have you realized though how like
Uzo,
even though we got
Carrie.
oh shit
That's an
yeah
old school one right there.
yeah you talking about where they pour the blood on her and shit and on the in the like was it like musical or was it like a talent show or something? I think it was a talent show.
I think it was I think it was a talent show.
But what about this other like Halloween shit that we would watch though like Goosebumps, dude?
I love Goosebumps. Oh man, I had such a collection of those books growing up.
Not even that, but you got to they had the shows. Have you never watched the shows?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
you can watch them right now on Hulu.
I ain't got
Oh,
I ain't got big
I'm
money
sorry
like
for
that.
you.
Yeah, that. But my favorite, like just normal, regular one would be Halloween Town. That my go-to freaking Halloween series that I gotta watch before October is always over is Halloween Town. Got to. But hey, I got a question though at this point. Gremlins.
That wasn't scary to me.
And not scary, but think about it, happened during like Christmas time. But it's also a Halloween movie. So what would you consider it as, Halloween or Christmas? Or could you consider it for both?
For both.
Think so?
For both. I guess that's just by person. I watched it and never cared for it, never
Oh,
watched it
I
again.
love it. Gizmo, my dude.
I'd have to watch it again, but
My guy. That's my guy right there.
oh
Little J.
man, you know what was a good scary movie too?
Hmm.
Sleepy Hollow.
Never seen it.
The Headless Horseman?
Never seen it.
It's a Halloween themed movie with Johnny Depp.
Never seen it.
You gotta watch it, man. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Boy, looking up now at this point.
You said what?
So now you're over here looking up at this point.
I'm just going through movies that I remember growing up, and it's bringing up movies where it's like, man, I want to go home. I know a classic. I don't consider it scary. It was a comedy, but Beetlejuice.
Yeah, you got
That's a
Beetlejuice.
classic. I was Beetlejuice
Yeah, I
one
mean,
year.
because you got to think Nightmare Before Christmas too. Technically, even though it is technically a Christmas movie, it's still a Halloween movie too at the same time.
My daughter's obsessed with that right now.
I bet.
Watches it every day. I'm not. I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan.
Mhm.
I've always loved the theme of the Nightmare Before Christmas, like in clothing and in stores and stuff like that, and I never watched the movie. I tried to get into it the other day.
I mean, like I think you can be Jack, no problem. You already got the fit for it.
You know who you can be?
Hmm.
George and the Giant Peach. You can be the Giant Peach. How do you feel now?
I feel
How do you
very.
feel now? Skeleton shaming me.
I feel perfectly fine. I'd rather be
Oh,
plump than fucking thin.
yeah, okay.
Or have some meat on my bones and goddamn over here this.
Oh my God, did you ever watch Elvira? Elvira,
Hmm.
the Mistress of the Dark? I remember watching her in the 90s. She
The
just had she just
90s,
had
the
she just had
90s.
big titties, bro.
You just
The
old.
movie came out in 1988. You were still swimming in your daddy's nutsack, weren't you?
Exactly. I've been swimming, bro. I wish I still was swimming low key, but we here. Just
Yo,
keep swimming.
hey
Just
yo.
keep swimming.
But nonetheless, yeah, bro, it's a good time of the year for movies. We need to do like we said, we need to have a horror movie night. Set it up with a bunch of friends and let's just everyone pick their favorite horror movie. We go in on a vote, and then whoever wins or gets the most votes on the movies that are selected, we do a horror movie night. I won't be accompanied that night because my spouse does not do horror movies. So,
Well, I won't be accompanied either. So
right.
he gonna look at me. I thought I was waiting for you to say something too for a second. I ain't gonna lie. You low key want to say something, but you know damn well you're gonna be like, nah, I ain't gonna do you like that right here.
I ain't gonna do you like nothing, bro.
Until we get out,
I
until we
try to
get out the
respect
camera, and
you
he's gonna
all
be
the
like, you
time.
know damn well the fuck.
Oh yeah, yeah. There are roasts that are not camera friendly.
Yeah, that we gotta
We
keep
got
up.
to keep behind the scenes. Those who
Unless you want to see that, we can bring it on.
podcast roast sessions.
We already talked about that.
There's gotta be rules though.
No, we already talked about that. Like I said, there's gonna be at some point in time that me and Hayes are gonna come up with a team. I'm gonna get three people on my team, and you're gonna get three people on your team, and we're gonna let them go at it. We're gonna be the coaches. We're not hopping in. We're just building our team.
I could do that.
Yeah.
So, hopping off the scary movie shit for a second. I've noticed on social media, I've seen this question rising up between different people, some of the music artists I have on my social media, and just fans in general. If there was a versus between Usher and Chris Brown, now we're talking about hit for hit, playlist, career, everything. In versus, who are you picking for that win?
Usher.
Usher? See, I am so
You gotta think.
perplexed
You
behind
gotta think.
this.
Low key, Chris Brown had like a messy career, especially with like
And
Rihanna.
Usher didn't?
Not that
Bro,
I
Usher
know.
ain't beat nobody, but Usher got
Oh, for a while, whispering.
I don't know.
Like what the fuck?
I mean, that doesn't take anything away from his music, but I'm perplexed about it only because
He got
okay,
bumps on his face.
Usher's the OG, right? You gotta think back. Usher's the OG. Usher came out before you were born. I was a little tight when Usher came out, but that is 7 o'clock on the dot. Like I remember hearing that shit, bro, and it
Nah, like
changed my life.
nah, like my favorite song from Usher is like "There Goes My Baby." I can't do. I can't sing right now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there goes my baby. That was a good song. The whole album, Confessions. I feel like that whole album was a slapper. But here's my problem when you face him against Chris Brown. While Usher is the OG, and we have these classics, doesn't Chris Brown have like double or triple the track record? Like, think about it. Usher, I have to look up how many albums he has, but Usher versus Chris Brown in the number of albums, I believe Chris Brown's gave us a lot more bodies of work as far as how that goes. Now, I'm not gonna say that he's in for the win. Usher has one, two, three, four, five, six,
But in general, I mean,
seven.
it's like saying it's like you're comparing like new age with old age. Same thing like how people compare like Jordan and LeBron right now.
I don't even want. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. Jordan's not better than LeBron. That's just.
Huh?
LeBron's not better than Jordan.
Whoa.
Whoa, I almost fucked up. LeBron is not better than Jordan. Me and my stepson, we will go fight tooth and nail about this.
But okay, yes, in your opinion, yes. But if you look at the stats, LeBron has them.
Okay, here's my thing, right? Jordan is the GOAT, right?
Everybody knows Jordan's the fucking goat.
To say that he's better, why can't people let Jordan be the GOAT? LeBron is our current GOAT. Why does it have to be this GOAT is better than?
Because it's like you gotta. It's like the all-time goat.
But LeBron's accomplished more than Jordan in his career. But the time that it took LeBron to accomplish that, Jordan did in a smaller amount of time. And I'm not taking away from LeBron, star athlete, amazing athlete. He is our GOAT. A problem that I have though is why don't people put fucking Kobe in that conversation?
It's weird, ain't it?
It's like, okay, I know he died. He died after retirement. Everyone's so focused on LeBron. I feel like Kobe was better than LeBron. I don't have statistics on hand. I obviously watched way more of Kobe than Michael or LeBron, to be honest with you. Because I wasn't super into basketball as a kid. I knew who Jordan was. I knew he was on Space Jam. That made me a fan of him. Throughout the years is when I became a respectable fan of who he was for the game and who he inspired. I've watched LeBron. I have watched LeBron, and I do think he's an amazing player. I think he's a fucking crybaby, but I do think he's an amazing player. But I watched Kobe, and I just feel like
It,
watching Kobe and watching LeBron, I feel like I have not seen that same greatness on the
it's
court
like saying also.
watching LeBron as I did
It's
Kobe.
like saying also like how come Steph's low key ain't in that battle too?
Oh, Steph Curry, bro, Splash Brothers. I'm a Golden State boy. Like I ride with Steph. I have been with Steph since the beginning. In all honesty, that is one guy that I keep up with. I never with the basketball. I never been big on being a team supporter. I'm a player, so like I like this player.
Well,
You
as
know
you
what
can
I'm
tell, you
saying?
already know who I'm rocking with. As you can tell,
What are those?
it's LeBron's.
Oh, okay, so you're Team LeBron. That's cool. I respect you. I mean, I don't, but I respect you. I get it. I understand. Like I said, I feel like we've witnessed different basketball players. I feel like for obviously we're what 13 years apart, so I feel like for you, LeBron is y'all's guy, and I don't take that away from him. Like I said, LeBron is a goat. I give that to him, but it's like when they do, oh, the LeBron better than Jordan. It's like, come on, man. Come on, man. It took you this many years, but it took Jordan this many to get to where he was at. Like, come on, bro. And like I said, it's no disrespect towards LeBron because why can't we just have goats that exist together? Granted, Jordan's not in the game. Basketball also was different during Jordan's time as it is now with LeBron. And yes, LeBron has statistics out the ass that surpass Jordan. Also had a longer career. At one point, I would hope, if you have this amount of time in being as great as you are, that you would surpass those records at one point. But it's like, let's not take away from Jordan. You a GOAT, he a GOAT. he was one of your inspirations. Now I've never heard LeBron talk bad about Michael, but it's the fans that do it. And it's like we wouldn't have a LeBron without a Michael in a way.
Because I remember at one point I seen this actually on the Impulsive podcast when they had Shaq on their live, and they asked him the question, "Who you choosing, Michael or LeBron?" You already know what his answer was. I ain't gotta say it.
He chose Michael.
Yeah.
But I feel like that came from a competitive sense. I saw recently there was a player, an older player that came out and made a statement about Michael, and it had to do with LeBron. And a lot of people were going at him because it was like, you're coming from a salty place because of what Jordan did to you. Jordan beat
Yikes.
you, supposedly took what his position was supposed to be and took off. He didn't get what he came for. He was not better than Jordan. So they said when this guy, and I wish I remember the name of the player that did it, but there was like, you not speaking from somebody who's actually taking the perspective of the sport and looking at each athlete. You taking this man's side because you dislike him. And I was just like, ew, that's got to be tough. That's got to be tough.
It's like saying you got top grades there. You got like back in that area, you got Larry Bird. You had back then. You had freaking Scottie
I
Pippen.
had a Larry Bird jersey too. It wasn't mine. It was actually my homeboy, but I used to take that shit from him and wear it.
I mean, you got Michael Jordan. Like me, I wasn't really into basketball. Like me, I'm a like little bit into it. I don't like watch it like that. But I just like LeBron. I've seen him since the Heat, and I don't know what it was about him. I just every time I was playing like freaking like I started off liking LeBron when I was playing 2K14.
Damn.
Yeah.
2K14. I didn't really get into 2K till 2020. Real talk.
Yeah, I started playing it then, but then I was like, oh, cause I got the freaking Shaq jerseys. No, yeah, I got the O'Neal jersey because he played for the Heat for a minute too. I was a really big little Heat fan for a minute, as you can tell by some of that stuff I have. But I got moved out of that because I was more of a player person. That's the reason why I like LeBron, especially the shoes he came out like these, and like I fucked with the 11s, but any other shoe he came out, them things are ugly as fuck. I'm sorry, ugly. Like the only shoes you're gonna catch me wearing newer, like the ones that come out now, are Jordans. Like especially the Jordan ones, dude, or the retro. Like I will not touch a retro 3. Even though I own a pair of retro 3s, I regret buying them. I just don't like the style. The retro 4s and the retro 5s and stuff like that, I can fuck with those, but I'm really mainly in love with the freaking Jordan ones, the mids. I don't know what it is about the mids. I just like the mids. I don't like the high tops. I don't like the lows. Even though these are lows, I don't. Well, I would consider these. Yeah, these are lows, sort of in the middle.
All right, so jumping from sport. I know where you stand in one of your stances in football.
Oh my
What's
god.
your are you do you have an NFL team that you support?
I used to because I used to be. It's weird to say this because people gonna say I was a bandwagon, but I used to go with the Patriots. But
Were
see,
you a Brady fan?
no, 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 no. Look, it's weird. It's gonna sound so weird when I say this. So back when I started getting into football, really,
Glad he retired,
when
by
I
the
was
way.
a kid, my high school football team was like Patriots. That was our name. So like when I seen Patriots on there, I was like, okay, that's what's up. I was just matching my school.
Okay,
I
I see
wasn't
what you did
really
there.
I wasn't really on a bandwagon or a team, whatever. I was just, hey, this is my high school team back then. But I was in elementary school when like I picked them. I thought it was just pretty neat how like our my big school was
I've always
Patriots.
been I've always been a home team supporter.
See, people's like, oh, you
So I'm a
bandwagon them
Falcons
still.
fan by
Yeah.
heart just because I'm from Georgia, but once again, I follow players like Patrick Mahomes. I like his style. I like how he plays. There's a couple of other guys that I don't have off the top of my head, but Atlanta this year, we've taken a loss here and there, but we're okay. We're doing better than the Cowboys as far as I know. Shout out to all my Cowboy fans. Not a good shout out, but you know what I'm
Or,
saying. Hope y'all okay, cause last weekend,
or, or like how fucking LSU took that fat ass loss a few weeks ago.
so college football,
Yikes, here we go.
go do your thing. Represent, bro. I'm a rep for mine too. Represent.
Bro, roll tide all motherfucking day, dog.
Podcast divided. Go dogs.
I'm not. Look, there's one thing I'm doing. Like I said, I might be a Roll Tide fan,
You
but
know what's crazy? We both play at the same time this weekend. Like y'all are playing Arkansas and we're playing Vanderbilt. I hope that the game goes as successful. See, last week when we played Kentucky, discussing with my Georgia boys and shit, we was, they was like, yo, Kentucky
he
hitting
said my
hard.
Georgia boys over here like,
Kentucky's hitting hard this year, so hopefully our guys show up to play. And it was crazy the way that score went.
yeah.
Because I was like, y'all what was it, Auburn? I was like, y'all let Auburn run y'all over, and we still won. But it wasn't like one of those we can say we whooped their ass. And then they let, who was it before that we faced? Y'all went against Texas A&M last week. We went against, who did we go against last week? I forgot. It was
Like I
last week.
said,
Last week was
like
Kentucky.
I said, we lost one game this season, but we hope we will probably see y'all in the fucking
Yeah, Auburn.
S.
Auburn had gave us a run for the money the week before that. We barely won that game, but we won it nonetheless. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm a fan of the sport. Always have been, always will be. My I don't exactly exist in the Georgia Alabama rivalry thing.
I
Why?
don't.
I've always respected you guys as a team. When our coach came, and I found out Kirby came from your coach from Saban. He was his mentor and everything. I was like, oh, okay. That made me gain a different respect for Alabama. And of course, we won the two championships. I was happy. I do not root against y'all until y'all face us. And that is only because I happen to, for whatever fucking reason, I got personal close friends I consider family that are fucking diehard Alabama fans. So, salute to y'all, Alabama
Literally,
fans.
your own podcast partner
Right.
is.
So it's like I'm go dogs all day, always. I will hang with the Roll Tide guys during y'all's other games. Now, when y'all
I
face us though, it's fuck y'all all day. Obviously, that's just
how it goes. I mean,
the way the
that's the
way
thing
it
with any
goes.
team that y'all play. It's like saying if like, for instance, like you had Kentucky people, even though I've never heard somebody offend a Kentucky. In my opinion, just saying it's either Georgia or Alabama or like LSU. You got Auburn around here.
I got this
You know, it's weird
one
how
LSU fan on
somebody
my
told me they were a
Facebook.
damn Georgia Tech fan, and I wanted to yak in their face.
I've never heard anybody say those
I know
words.
one person who says they're a Georgia Tech fan.
I remember in the beginning when I first hopped into the whole being a fan of football, and I remember I was a Dolphins fan in the beginning, but then that's
Yo.
because I had the influence around me though at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So when it was it college football? I started I started with Clemson. We lived in South Carolina. My girlfriend's dad gave me a jersey. He was gonna sell it in a yard sale. I was like, yo, I like the colors. That orange and blue look nice. I remember I wore a Clemson jersey. Man, when I moved back to Georgia, everybody was like, you a Clemson fan? I was like, well, I lived in South Carolina, but I've always been Go Dogs. I had my Bulldogs hat. You seen that corny picture I showed you when I was in middle school. I went to the store and I had these navy blue Adidas. There's nothing Georgia Bulldogs navy blue. So I'm like, I'm a home team supporter. I bought some Georgia Tech gear. And man, I have never that was probably one of the biggest times besides when what's it called it when what's the name, the Saints won the Super Bowl. Those two times were the biggest times of hate that I ever received in the sports world. I forgot who it was the Saints were playing. My brother-in-law at that time with the mother of my children, they're throwing a party. Everybody's blue and white jerseys. I didn't have a jersey at the time. We had just moved to Florida. I wasn't focused on it, but I like to go against the wave. But because I didn't follow any of the teams that year, not even the Falcons, I decided to dress up in black and gold. Dude, when we won that game, I'm in the living room. Woo! We fucking won, the Saints, motherfuckers. And when I turn around, bro, everybody in the living room is in white and blue jerseys. Like, bro, get out. Like, we about to jump you. My brother-in-law didn't talk to me. I didn't even get no food served to me. I was literally the only
Dude,
guy there.
that's how it be. Cause I remember there was one time when I got done after the Rooster fights. I came back to Georgia after that, and I went straight to watch the Georgia versus
You
Alabama
was out
game.
there cockfighting.
Yes, I was. Sure was. Back in the day. It was. Sure
It
was.
sounds like something you would do. Cockfighting.
Yeah. Good money. So why not?
Hey, if you making money fighting with your cock, do it, bro.
Cool. Yeah. We'll go with that. Anyways.
Hustle is hustle, dog.
Yeah. Like I said, fuck it. But anyways, it's like
Cockfights.
I went to. I don't know what it is when you say that. It just makes me think of like people like sword fighting with their pee when they go pee in the fountain or something, bro. Like that's what instantly when I think about that when I think of that, that's what I think
Hey,
of.
yo. Okay.
Look, you're not close with your homie if you never did that before.
I guess I'm not close to nobody then.
Okay, then you just lame. Anyways, it's like I got back, I went straight to my homegirl's house with her like sister and her parents, whatever, and we watched the Georgia versus Alabama. Like think about it, their whole entire house is Georgia Bulldogs. I'm the only Roll Tide fan there. We beat them like what was it? I don't know what it was, but Georgia messed up and we came back and we beat them by a field goal.
Oh my goodness.
And dude, I was like, let's go, dude. But I showed respect. I was like, good game, good game. And then I got to her dad. And her dad looked at me and was like, gave me the dirtiest look ever and was like, he low key was like, get. And he was like, low key wanted to say, get out of my house. But I'm just saying, like, we won. Like, if you would have won, y'all all would have looked at me and did the exact same thing I'm doing to you right now. Literally. I mean, like I said, if you, it's like saying, if me and you watching a Georgia versus Alabama game and you win, you're getting on my ass. And then I'm like, if I win, I'm getting on your ass.
You know what though? Believe it or not, it depends on who I'm around that's an Alabama fan. I have a close, near and dear brother of mine. I won't drop his name on here because I don't know if he would appreciate that. He's diehard Alabama. Till the day we have sat next to each other in the bar talking shit the whole game. At the end of the game, we'll shake hands. Good game, brother. Good game. He'll go, hey, I'm still Roll Tide. Hey, I'm still Go Dogs. When we won the championship the first time, he was there. He's the only Alabama fan besides my niece in the house. Georgia wins. We're going crazy. My other bro's crying because he was literally a baby when they won the first time and he watched the game with his daddy. So to see them win again, that's a loyal fan. He went through all the years of losing, but he was able to see them now win again. He's crying. I'm jumping up and down because I don't want about $1,400 in bets. I went crazy and won. We're all jumping up and down. He walks over to me and he was like, "Hey man, good game." Gave me a hug. "Hey man, go Dogs. Y'all did that. Y'all fought. Y'all did it. Y'all won." And I looked at him and I'm like, "Is that the same attitude you would have towards me if y'all had won?" And he was like, "I still walk up to you, say good game, say whatever." He said, "I save my shit talk for the ignorant fans." It's like me, you'll see me on Facebook. I talk shit every now and then.
Every now and then.
About
Like,
Alabama. I haven't done it this
I
year.
think talking about in general. Like you talk shit every
No,
damn
no, no.
day.
I'm talking about football.
Oh.
Like last year, I was on Alabama's ass last year only because I had two people on my Facebook. We almost fought. Like I almost was like, "Yo, pull up. I'm tired of your shit. Pull up." But I respect the game. Am I gonna make funny jokes or whatever? Yeah, like
I mean, we always
like the other day, you was like, "Oh, go down." I was like, "Shit, we undefeated. What y'all doing?" You know what I'm saying? But I won't. I don't get too caught up in it until I see ignorance. But I have also, while I call out the ignorance in opposing teams, I will call out ignorant Georgia fans. Because when we play a game and the score is 3 point difference and y'all get on Facebook, we drug them. We da 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 da. Fucking Go Dogs. And I said, hey, humble yourself. We took that win, but that wasn't no ass whooping. They was on our ass. A win is a win to me. 1 point, 50 points. A win is a win. But you don't got to get online and be all that extra shit. That's not what this is about. And I feel like, yo, humble yourself a little bit. I got kicked out of a group for telling somebody, yo, calm down. And I was like, oh, for a dog fan, you don't sound like you too enthusiastic. And I'm like, yo, we won the game. Yes, we are still undefeated, but the score was this. Where's the ass whooping in that? Was it a good game? I hate a landslide game. Not gonna lie. Even when it's my team winning, I hate a landslide game. I love seeing the
like
players
neck and
go.
neck.
I love the neck and neck
Like
shit.
it's like whatever happens, it could go either way.
Like I love watching the game, and I'm on the edge of my seat. Like, and if the game is so good, you can compliment the other team.
Oh my God, what game does that remind me of? What fucking was it when Malcolm Butler got that interception on the 1 yard line? Oh, Seahawks.
Ooh.
Yeah, that
My
game.
sister's a Seahawks fan. I don't know how that happened, but my
Like
sister's a
you're like
Seahawks fan.
fucking goddamn Russell Wilson. I don't know why on the damn 1 yard line you got Marshawn Lynch right there,
Beast.
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 He could have easily got that touchdown, but why? But you're gonna throw it, and then Malcolm Butler surprised because we low key thought because you got to think of how fast everything was going at the moment. You could have it low key looked like they got the touchdown, and then you see our player like you see the fucking Patriots fucking yeeting that shit out, and you're like, what?
Hey, side note, you're not making it to the Alamo.
Why?
It's 1:30.
No, it's not.
Swear to God. Look at the time.
Bro, we've been talking for that long.
I don't know how long this has been going for, but we've been on for a minute. Can you? I wonder. Hold on. I just curious thought. I'm not gonna edit this out, but I wonder if it doesn't tell you how long. I was gonna say I
It
can
tells me
tune
on
in
mine.
from your live to see how long you've been on live because the live wasn't even. You started the live like what 2 minutes before we got on.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then man, I want to. What I would like to do is take this time in the podcast. We're small business owners. We both have our own businesses, which we'll plug in and shout ourselves out in due time. But I actually want to take the time to shout out other small businesses in the area. This business is located in Noonan, Georgia. It's ran by a close friend of mine. His name is Justin Keith Lee. The whole government right there, Jay. Love you, dog. They have
He said the whole government.
the whole government. Well, I want people to know who they doing business with. Yes, my brother Justin, man, he's got a pressure washing company. It's called Atlanta Wash Pros. They have a Facebook page and they got a website at www.atlwashpros.com. I'll go ahead and plug the name in at the bottom so you guys can tune into that. Guys, they got quality work. They got good workers. Um, they're doing jobs all over. All the extra details, you guys can go on the Facebook page and the website. Just because on there, they actually post the before and afters of all the pressure washing jobs they do. And they're great at what they do. They're very dependable. And I vouch for this man myself. He's a good guy. So a big shout out to Atlanta Wash Pros. Y'all keep doing your thing. My brother Justin, that's his company. Like I said, it's located in Noonan, Georgia. You guys, if you live in the area, look them up, give them a call. They work Noonan, LaGrange, Peachtree City, Fayetteville. They travel. So you guys got a pressure washing job to do. Go ahead and hit up my bros at Atlanta Wash Pros. Like I said, that's my small business shout out for the podcast. You have anything else you'd like to say before we say farewell for the night?
No, I'm thinking pretty good on tonight. I'm just glad that like it took a little turn. We got a little educational in here. Showing about stuff like about reselling and real estate and this and inside of educational. Because like I said, it's all fun and games here too. But we're also here to like enlighten you on certain topics and stuff. Now you hear the monkeys now, don't you?
There's something outside the house that's making monkey sounds.
And no, you heard it personally
I
right now.
just now, yeah, I wonder if the microphones picked that up. I doubt it, but
No,
that sounded the first time it just sounded like a bird was outside. That shit sounded like a legit monkey just went off on a tree.
exactly. Told you nobody believes me until you come here. Like if I like.
Yeah, because if you would have told me you hear monkeys at
And
night
I
at your
told you
house,
earlier.
bro,
I told you earlier too. Did
I
I?
looked
Did
at
I?
you. I looked at you funny
And you
because I
just
was
heard
like,
it.
I just
And
heard it though. I just heard it. We hearing monkeys. But ladies and gentlemen,
this is the end of the Bean Dip podcast.
this is episode 4, BeanDip podcast. It's your humble host, Flako, Leo. He's Bean. I'm
I'm
Dip.
Dip.
Uh, would just love to take the last second of this podcast to shout out everyone that has shown love, support, that has played the podcast. Big shout outs to people who have reached out to us just to give us tips and pointers. We have not received any hate, which is crazy because the hate is something that we receive on a regular basis.
Yeah, in our normal lives.
In our
But on
normal
but on
lives,
but
on
on
the
this
podcast,
stuff.
people have been very supportive. People have been sharing it. People was asking when's the next episode. we really just want to say
or
thank
people
you
want to
guys.
come on, give us their experiences and stuff. Like, we're gonna try to get more into guests. Like we said, we did have our first guest. Like I said, it wasn't the best. That's another reason why we did this rearrangement too, was because of how the guest wasn't really being shown like we wanted to. So like I said, we're trying to get bigger and better. Like I said, this is like the beginning. Like, we're still working through the kinks. So like that. Like, honestly, to be honest with you, we're probably gonna rearrange this. Like, we don't
It's
know.
just like I said in the previous episodes, man. Y'all are on the journey with us. Y'all are growing with us,
Like I said, if
and
you
we
would have,
appreciate you.
like you seen from the first episode, we didn't have nothing in here. We were literally going from, like, we had two chairs. Shout out to the manager, but we had some bed sheets on them. Those weren't working. And then we tried it out. We did.
We've
But
gotten better microphones, better lighting. We've gotten visuals created by the team. Um,
yeah, without the team, like without our team though, shout out to them for sure. Like, for real, for
it's
like,
been a super blessing.
yeah,
It really has.
like really, like without them, they wouldn't be like helping them. We got more people, like more of like friends on my part are helping us with the podcast now, like, and everything. So, like, soon we might be having an intro to the actual BeanDip podcast.
Yes, stay tuned for that. We will have a themed song for the podcast. A personal friend of Leo's is making us a beat, something that we can introduce to you guys, because I make music, but we wanted something more identifiable for this specific lane that we're in.
Like, we want to know lyrics, so we just wanted to beat.
Yeah, we just want a good little beat, something to ride into. Nothing with actual lyrics and actual song. And tune in to the podcast. You can go to our Facebook page and like and subscribe. We also have a YouTube channel. We also are now on Spotify. So all of those places where you can go is literally the BeanDip podcast is how you
And
look it up.
soon we will be having a TikTok page too, to have our clips in there. So
We've been lacking a little bit on the TikTok because we do operate from our personal pages, but we are going to separate the podcast clips and the TikToks that we post for the podcast and actually be putting it on the page. So stay tuned for that. Once the page is up, we'll be posting the link so you guys can follow and keep up with us on there too. And like I said, we really appreciate everybody.
We love the support. Honestly, I just love the support from everybody. And the weird part is, it's surprising, like, people who you wouldn't think really support the podcast is the people.
I told you, y'all, I've been doing music since I was 14. The support from this podcast, we've been doing this podcast, what, about a month and a half now?
Yeah.
The support that I've received from this podcast, just on my end, I'm not talking about his DMs, just what I receive from my end. I've gotten more support on the podcast than my music, so I really appreciate that a lot. Maybe a nigga need to quit. Maybe rapping ain't my thing. Who knows? I've heard I'm pretty talented, but
I say you also a little old too, Buckaroo.
here he goes again. You just ruined the whole outro with the old shit. You young baby shit, little bastard.
I don't give a fuck. I give zero fucks.
That's the BeanDip podcast,
Yes.
y'all. Hope y'all have a good night.